Transmitting. We're transmitting.
Do you want me to pop on the chat here?
Yeah, might as well. Hello, everyone. Hope y'all are well.
There we are. Chat is disabled for this live stream.
Oh, that's just, it's got to refresh. That's probably the old link. Hit, just go to the, yeah, I was going to say, go right from it because it's probably still showing the old one.
Let's see what shit's been watching.
There we go.
What's up? Is everyone there?
Nope, it's going to be Corey and I tonight.
Pop out. There we are. All right, let's get rid of you. Whoa, that's too big. We don't need that one bit.
There we go. We rolling now.
All right. Good news is they can hear you this time.
That's true. It's always a good start.
All right. We're good there. I'm going to grab my drinks. I'll be there in a second.
All right. You did hear Corey. I'll be right back. My backup running. How's everybody in the chat doing? You guys good? It'll be 30 seconds from hearing this, but, you know, figured I'd check in. See how everyone's feeling. Hopefully you're doing wonderful on this fine Wednesday evening.
All right. Let me get my sponsored Prime drink. Ice pop.
It's a good drink.
Oh, it's delicious.
Pudva. It's a goodbye, Pudva. It's a goodbye. I should pop out this chat for me here as well.
You jump over to your computer?
No, I'm actually, yeah, that's probably a good idea too, just to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Shook's not here to elaborate on his posts about said vehicle, so hopefully he'll be here next week, and we can find the story from the man himself.
All right. Buenos noches.
Ooh, I should make sure I can see my phone for when Matt gets here.
Oh my God, why's my screen brightness so low? Hello. It's me. Got all my stuff laid out. Oh, of course the user session has expired. Right when I need to use it. Listen, the Min 400 sends me so many junk emails.
They never stop.
Oh, it never stops. Actually, you know what I'm going to do?
Maybe we should do that. Maybe that's like the thing.
Email blasts?
Yeah, constant.
They're effective to a certain extent. I think these are in excess.
Over.
Yeah. These are in excess. But yeah, to a certain extent, they're definitely helpful. I know sometimes I definitely enjoy seeing what people are sending my way.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Reviews. See all.
Anybody in the chat, today is going to be a side quest of an episode.
From the hip.
Yep. We're really going to wing it.
Yeah.
So if there's anything in particular you want to hear us discuss, not even car related, we'll run with it. We will run with it.
All right. Turn
And I'll
that
put it in my notes right now so I
turn
don't
that
forget.
volume down. All right. Let's take some notes here. We're ready to go. Doug, you just noticed that every mic stand has a car in it?
He's been in the studio.
Yeah, we've got over there at Chuck's is a little mini truck, a K truck, blue, because the one he used to own. Over there in the guest chair, it's an R33, probably GTR, I assume.
I hope so.
Mine right here, this is a CRX, obviously, fitting. And Josh over there has a Jaguar Project 8.
Project 8.
Project 8, yes. I'm surprised you've never noticed they fall off often during the recordings.
Yeah. Yeah. Mainly Chuck's.
Yeah.
I mean, it basically is stuck on with a glue-like, a gum-like substance underneath the bottom of it.
I think, actually, so we're talking about Factory 5 kit. There was a shop in Mass. I don't know. Phil knows who they are. I don't quite know who they are, but they built a Factory 5 little, like, Ford pickup, tiny little thing for SEMA one year. And I got to check it out. That was a good-looking car.
Carman Cam. Wait, other episodes aren't winging it? No, those are sometimes put together a little bit more.
Yeah, those were assembled.
Yeah. Tim Connors. Yes. All of the above. Ice Pop absolutely slaps. That's probably the best one. Best flavor of Prime is Ice Pop.
Yeah, these are good. I had the fruit punch one. I wouldn't drink strawberry watermelon.
The one I had last week, the weird, like...
Lemon lime? Oh, the glow in the dark one?
Glow in the dark. Yeah, glowberry, it might have been called. That was not. That just was a bad flavor. I don't like that flavor.
Just a bad flavor, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Factory 5, I believe, is from Massachusetts. This was a different performance shop.
Yeah, Factory 5's in Wareham, I believe.
Can I? No way. Is this a shop? Boom. SMG Motoring and Dyno.
Oh, yeah, that's where Phil gets his truck tuned, right?
Yeah, SMG Motoring and Dyno. I'm pretty sure if you find them on the old Instagram, let's pop up the old gram here. SMG Motoring. It's probably a few years at this point, but
Looks like they do all the stuff.
they do a lot of cool stuff. But they built a very cool truck for SEMA, and that was kind of my only exposure to anything Factory 5.
Yeah, I've never...
Oh, this is a photo of it right here. It's a photo of the rear end. Nice car. Oh, it's a photo of it at SEMA. Yeah, check it out. It's cool. I mean, it's a plastic car. I don't know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't see it as being something that's like I'm going to use it often type thing.
Right.
I think it's kind of like I'm going to take it to the car show early Sunday morning and open my lawn chair and sit in front of it.
Like a C8 Corvette.
Much like a C8 Corvette.
I see those things by the minute.
See, we just saw one on the way back.
They're like, they have to be one of the most popular selling vehicles.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually look that up.
What are their numbies? I bet you they're putting up pretty big numbies. Oh, we need B4B numbies. Speaking of the
Oh,
devil.
yeah, good call.
I mean, here's my thing. I think I'd be worried getting in a crash in it. Wouldn't you?
The Corvette?
No, I'm sorry. I'm back to the Factory 5, like plastic.
Oh,
car.
if it's plastic? Yeah.
But then again, the Saturns, they were plastic.
That was true. Bounce right off them.
Yeah.
Like Tupperware.
Actually, didn't Katie have a Cobra next door?
He did.
Oh, and I barely fit in it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been a rough go.
Pretty sure if a dog had bumped into the side of it, I would have been in trouble.
I mean, since 2021, they're averaging about 34,000 a year.
Wow. Okay, so they're almost
And
at
I mean,
100,000 out there in the field.
Yeah, if they close out the rest of this year, they might hit 40 for the year. So there's a lot of them. Good amount of them out there.
They did away with the $60,000 one too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Damn.
the-
The only one that would have ever been worth buying.
The Section 8 Corvette.
Yeah.
Section 8 C8. That's what
Section
it was.
8C8. That's a damn. That's a good sticker.
Yeah. If only it was still around.
What? Oh, the
that $60,000 or $59,995 version.
technically under 60K.
Because I want to see now if I go to Chevrolet.com.
Chevrolet.
Yeah, so this is just the first one, but this is showing me 66.
66. I mean, 66 still isn't bad.
Coupe and convertible. All right, here we go. Trims. That's what I need. Oh, yeah. Starting 1LT. 67.8. It's
Uh-oh.
bumping up there.
I hear a door.
I heard the door, too. Is he here?
What do we got? Hello?
What's up?
Hello.
We're
Doing
in the
well. How are
pre-party.
you?
We're in the pre-party. You made it. You nailed your time. You're pretty accurate. Oh, look at that. Oh, boy. I don't think Corey's seen what that is yet. Which chair? You'll be right there, please. There we go. I think your mic is on.
Does it work?
Yep, we're good.
Sick.
We're good. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, this is our friend Mr. Matt Woodsky.
Hello.
He's a man with an absolute wealth of knowledge of all things motorsport
The brain is a bit
and cars.
wrinkly for that.
I was just say, yeah, that's right up your alley.
Yeah. This is really cool.
So that is Osamu Nakako's car, who basically was like the main dude for Mugen
Yeah.
all through the 80s and 90s. As you can see, the car is 16, which is like Mugen's number. Won 5 Japanese touring car championships for them, and just figured it'd fit the vibe here a bit.
Yeah.
This is what I mean by a wealth of knowledge.
The brain's just a lot of wrinkles, all right?
What race series did that partake in?
The Japanese touring car championship.
Okay.
So it was when, how do you say? The JTCC existed for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like Group A cars.
Yep.
And then when Group A went away, it split off into like the JTCC, which is like the 2-liter super touring cars, like BTCC style.
Yep.
And that's when they made Super GT. At that point was JGTC,
Okay.
because they were like, we have all these cool cars like Supras,
Right. All right.
Skylines,
Yeah.
and they didn't have anyone to race them because
Yep.
the engine size was a determining factor. So they split them off into the GTs and the touring cars.
Yep. How do you know that?
Do you want?
Yeah, I guess we can just hit that and then we'll get
Yeah. Just a lot of deep dives on the internet at night.
Okay.
Um,
That's what I wasn't quite sure of. If it's just you're that, and we'll get into it more once you
Yeah.
get rolling for real. But like, you just have to go find it.
It's that, and like, I've been in a car since I was yay big.
Yep.
Six Flags New England.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There used to be Riverside Park.
Yep.
And they used to have a racetrack there, quarter-mile racetrack, like where the Superman is and all that. And my uncle used to run figure eights and enduros there.
Goddamn big roller coaster.
Listen, it's one of those things where in the stock car community where we don't go there, because when Six Flags bought the park, they were like, yeah, we're going to keep the racetrack. We're going to keep the racetrack. We're going to keep the racetrack. And then immediately after the season was over, they're like, now we're pulling this out for a couple
Of
more
course,
festivals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was not ideal.
No money, unfortunately.
Yeah, it trumps a bit.
Yeah.
And they've always said that like that area has been haunted afterwards. They've had injuries on the Superman.
I was
quite
gonna
a
say
bit.
the Superman ride itself, 2 or 3 deaths at least, right?
Yeah, and like the night after they closed as Riverside Park,
Mm-hmm.
a mysterious fire took over pretty much all of like the grandstands and all the snack facilities for the racetrack.
Interesting. Yeah.
They'd never been able to find out what happened.
Yeah,
What happened.
yeah.
Oh, they know.
Yeah. I think that message was sent.
Yeah.
Do you want to play us in?
Yeah. I'm gonna probably. Did you lock the door?
Yeah.
You did lock the door. Okay.
That's
Yeah,
what I got to
think
do.
we'll be good. All right. Yeah, I completely lost it. Let me make sure we're good there.
All right.
We're good there.
B for B numbies.
That's what I wanted to do.
There we go.
That's what it was. I knew I was missing something real quick.
Man, I will kill time when you look at that. So, of the touring car championship, Japanese or British, which one do you like more?
Currently or overall?
No, just historically.
I think the Japanese one, simply from the fact that it's the British series, especially through the 90s, kind of became more known as like a slap bang. We're going to just push you out the way. And it's not real racing as far as I'm concerned. That's just bumper cars with big budgets.
Yeah.
And the Japanese one was always a little bit more weirder, as it usually is.
Yeah.
Just
Love the Japanese.
Oh, yeah. With car selections and stuff like that. So it's just always been, they're fun.
Did they ever do like an Accord wagon?
No. So
I just think that'd be the perfect rival for the Volvo wagon.
So there
two.
was a wagon. It was in 98. It was a privately entered car, though, but it was a Subaru.
Okay.
The Sims, it was SYMS, Impreza wagon, that like GC style bodied one. Because it was privately entered, it never really did any well, and they changed a few rules that year to make the cars look a bit more extreme. So, like, if you ever see like the Castrol Accord that raced, or the Jax Accord,
Yep.
in 97 or 98, they started getting big fender flares on them and taller wings, and this was kind of like their evolution of the super touring regulations at the time. So the guys at the Subaru really just couldn't pay to play with that.
Yeah. I gotcha. Well, it's good to know. Because I just, you always see historically like that Volvo wagon.
It's a bit easier, especially in the Western world, when you're dealing with countries that speak English.
Yeah.
And have like a Roman style alphabet versus one that's entirely based on characters.
Yeah.
To be able to get information back and forth.
Everyone kind of covers it equally.
There's that number, Corey. And then
So
that one.
you got Tyler Page in the chat.
Yep.
The Volvo wagon actually never even podiumed. They ran it for 94 only, and it was extremely a marketing exercise because, hey, everybody talks about a wagon race car, not
Yeah.
a normal three-box sedan.
Instantly. Did it work?
Like I said, the highest place they ever finished was 4th.
Yeah.
Again, it was their first year of doing it.
I just meant, do you know if it worked as a marketing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Then it pays for the program.
Yeah,
It pays,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Volvo's a really strange case in that pretty much every big-time motorsport they've entered, because they did V8 supercars for a while in the, 2010s.
Yep.
It has paid off massively in marketing.
Yep.
It made it, obviously Volvo for a while, especially with those bricks. They're kind of have a state image of a stately person,
Yeah.
a grandmother. But especially with the 850 program and the S60 program and the V8 supercars, it made people want to buy Volvos because they were cool.
Gives it a bit of that cool factor.
Yeah.
Which happens to, because again, a lot of these touring car championships, whether it's the Japanese one or the British one, I look at cars that I typically wouldn't look at and go, that's a fucking cool car.
Yeah, I mean,
you can make that car cool.
Especially with the 2-liter era, which was the 90s super touring cars, because there were so many manufacturers involved, basically every single car that your parents owned was out there in some form, and you as a child even would have something to cheer for because it's what your mom or dad drove.
Neon.
Exactly.
It was relatable.
Neon.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had really weird stuff in the European series and the Japanese series. I think at one point in 95, it was 11 or 12 manufacturers were represented.
Yeah.
So if you could pick a mid-size family vehicle, it was represented.
It was going to be there in some form. Yeah, which is awesome. I love that kind of stuff. That's the racing them into. Ed Pudva it is.
Hello, Edward.
Good to know. We really bringing the
heat.
Bringing the blood flow to the proper places.
Bringing the heat under the table.
Yeah.
Matt, before we get rolling, you know what we do, right?
I do.
You don't have any questions?
No.
I think we're good. All right. I figured as much.
Love that.
Yeah. I appreciate you making the drive here.
Of course.
Very, very much appreciated.
Of course.
You've been in the studio before.
I have.
Okay. That's what I
A
thought.
couple months ago.
Yeah.
I was in Corey's seat.
Hanging out with the Lucis Fast
Yeah.
Boys. Talking some
Talking some circle track stuff.
oval racing.
And Lamar NASCAR things.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're going to cover some of that stuff. I'd imagine it's going to come up naturally, but a lot of different things. And I'm going to spring this on you. We're going to read your Twitter.
Oh, Lord. Don't do that. That's horrendous.
But it gave me some ideas before. I'm like, you know what? We're going to pick some things as I flick through it.
That's a shit posting nightmare.
That you have some opinions on.
Oh, yes.
And I think we might, go over some of that stuff. See, this is kind of a winged episode.
Yeah, of course.
Side quest is what we're calling
I
it.
saw that. I got the YouTube notification when I pulled in the parking lot.
Yeah. We'll just do that and, see what we shake out, see what happens.
Don't put the Twitter up on the...
Oh, no. I'm just going to read it right on my phone.
Okay, good.
Yeah. No worries. Nothing to incriminate or get you chased, by certain political groups or anything like that.
Listen, I'm fat. They'll catch me.
All right, so let's roll.
All right.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Josh Garcia, and this is the Revival Motoring Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Corey.si.
Hello.
Chuck, who is on the road to redemption. He's out there in Indianapolis, I believe.
He's doing the 500.
He's
It's that time of year, right?
He's rented a Dodge Charger, and he is just on track somewhere.
I have no clue what he rented. I'm surprised we haven't heard about it yet.
No, you know what? Yeah. Maybe it's not that exciting then, because he'll usually text us.
It's never not. Here's the thing. Matt Wood is here to join us. I don't want to take away from your glory moment. It seems like you've got
he's got a bunch of fans in the
chat. Before we dive in, Chuck never rents something
practical.
No. Yes, never rents something exciting up front. He's a dude at the desk kind of guy.
Right, sporadic.
I've seen him in action.
Right, you should.
I've seen him in action.
So do I go into a deli and they got a good special.
Yeah.
You know what?
Because here's the thing.
Say no.
You rent, typically, I think he's a big manager special guy. He'll do a manager special. That's kind of whatever. And then he gets there and he peruses the parking lot. What do they got? And then he starts working the deal. And that's how he ends up with Chargers or a Buick Enclave or whatever he ends up in, for fun. I think the only time I know he rented something was when we went to Colorado. He had said before we had rented like an Escalade, but that was kind of like planned, whatever. But most times, no. It's like, what can I get when I get here?
Yeah, I don't think it'd be nice to have all y'all in like a Mirage or something like that. So the Escalade was a good move.
Yeah. The Escalade. Well, it was like the extra big Escalade.
Oh, okay, the ESV.
So like, there was only 4 of us.
But you had luggage and snowboards, 3 of them.
No. This was like a work trip.
Oh yeah.
We had no snowboards. We had like backpacks. But yeah, it was a great time.
You never know what you could pick up on the side of the road.
In Colorado, something good.
Could be what's his Dumb and Dumber? The 2 dudes on the
exactly.
Right.
The Coleman bike.
Traded this motor scooter for a ESV Escalade. And in studio with us is Mr. Matt Wood.
Howdy.
Matt, thank you. I said this before, but as we're recording now, thank you very much for making the trek out here.
Of course.
Shook is not in studio today. He had a work conflict as well, so I think he'll be back next week. So today we are going to wing it. Not that we typically don't, but we have a bit of a side quest episode where we're going to talk some car stuff for sure. However, whatever kind of comes up, we're going to talk about it. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce sucks, whatever. We'll go from there. Before we get rolling entirely, this episode is brought to you by you out there who subscribes to our B4B. What is B4B? We'll tell you a little bit more about that later. However, thank you. We appreciate you. We see you. We love you. We need you. And then you can visit our website, revivalmotoring.com, for other stuff that we have for sale, some merch, some coffee, all that sort of stuff. The Jumpstart's up there, Kickstart. Jumpstart, Clutch Kick, Midnight, American Dream, as well as the Cold Start coffee in a can. We're still sorting out the label stuff for the water. That will hit the website eventually as well. If you want to grab something in person, we're going to be here this weekend, October 1st, for our donut meet on Sunday. So that's coming up as well.
What time, Josh?
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Is that typical time?
October
we do it?
1st,
Yeah,
9 a.m.
So that is here at our HQ. If you don't know where that is, it's somewhere on our website as well, but you can reach out and find out the exact address if you need to via DM.
Yes. 10-1, 9 a.m. Look at that.
That's it.
It's perfect.
9 plus 1 equals 10. 10 minus 1 equals 9. 10-1 at 9 a.m.
This is like quick maths here.
My brain's
Illuminati.
my brain's going wild. Not building 7.
Too soon.
There's a lot of 1s and 9s in there. I was just waiting for somebody to do it, but I had to. I couldn't hold back. Yeah, let's get right into some
If you'd like to leave a callback number, press 2.
callbacks.
What do you got?
Did you go to Canaan?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was. Are you going to save that for a?
Whenever you want.
We hadn't discussed it. I was curious how it went.
Oh, okay. Well, Chuck talked a lot about a track day he put together with some of his college buddies. I think the UMass Motorsport crew,
Yep.
I think I'll say. And they do a bit of a private track day. It's definitely a private track day. It's not a bit of. At Canaan Motorsport Park, or Motor Park, or whatever they call it. I don't know what they really call it. And I went last year. We talked about it a bunch, but we did another one this year. And, I mean, overall, to sum it up, it's the best time you can have.
Yeah,
It's so much fun.
your buddies, private track.
There was 20 something of us, so there's not a lot of people at all. You've got, everyone kind of ranging from like, what do they call them? Like instructional drivers to this is my first time kind of really, maybe I've done an autocross, but my first time ever getting on a track. And nothing's wheel to wheel. It's kind of at your own pace, points passed, the whole 9 there. But yeah, it's so, for something that's like a quote unquote private, but not like run by an organization. This is run by a few friends who got together to kind of make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfectly smooth.
Yeah.
Everyone just kind of flows. Everyone kind of works together. Things are getting done. It's really easy to do. What I liked when I got there was a sign up sheet. So everyone gets a 20-minute flagging session.
Yep.
This way, flagging's always covered. Mm-hmm. I mean, everyone can commit 20 minutes to standing and, you
get a different perspective.
Yeah, true. You got a really good perspective of like kind of one of the weirdest corners at that track is where your flagging position is. You get to kind of see it from outside the vehicle perspective and kind of see how other people are doing it. But all in all, we drove from like 9 a.m. to like 3:30 and there were only 2 flags.
Yeah, that's
all day.
Yeah.
So it's like
a couple people had offs.
2 spins.
Okay.
2 spins, nothing
That
major.
means they're pushing it.
Yeah. 2 spins, nothing major. But like, obviously you flag whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was such
did Chuck take the X5 off? Is that what it was? Did he spin that thing?
No, he didn't.
That would have been a
there was a BRZ that spun. Yeah, there was a BRZ that spun and then a Miata that spun.
Okay.
The BRZ that spun, actually, it's I'm pretty sure we've talked about it around here before. Mikhail, Chuck's friend, he actually won a B for B.
Yep.
His wife.
Yep.
Fastest one there.
I was
bar none.
The one who,
hands down.
She was passing you in the Miata last time.
Passed me twice 1 lap.
Yep.
Dude, I'm telling you, she's it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy how fast. No, Chuck did take the X5 out. I took the X5 out once by himself, and then he took it for some for maybe some exploratory laps.
Yep.
Okay. To kind of show people some of the track and kind of other routes.
The posse laps.
Yeah, and then they did pretty much. They have a Miata. He's talked about it before. They have a Miata that they share. So that Miata was what's the saying? Ridden hard, put away wet. Yeah, that Miata.
It's been used.
But it's crazy.
The fact that it's been out, it basically worked a full 8-hour shift.
You know what I found out? At Staggered, it did 150 on-track miles. 150 on-track miles.
Dude, that thing.
Never missed a beat.
Oh
Never,
my God.
never. They put gas in it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
put gas in it. 150 on-track miles. And then this, not as many, but definitely a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you only got 1 day. That was 2 days, much longer days of driving.
Yep.
But this was, it just gets beaten on. And there was three or four different people who drove it on Monday.
Yep. And it just
Didn't care.
does the job.
Didn't care.
Worth his weight.
Worth its weight. Unbelievably. I mean, I had a great time. I took the 1 Series out again.
Oh, sick. I wasn't sure.
The
what you
brake
took.
fluid flush did a huge improvement on braking for me.
Yep.
With much better brake fluid. Never had any brake fade. Also, I'm sure that has a lot to do with kind of learning how to drive a little bit better.
Yep.
You know, I'm sure that has a huge amount to do with it. But yeah, no brake problems at all. Exhaust was fixed. That sounded great. Kyle from Soma was out there. He was in the, he has his
Fit, right?
Yeah, his shabby colored Honda Fit.
Yep.
And that thing rips for sure. That thing's really cool. Who else was out there? I mean, Igor was out there in his Ariel Atom begging me to go for a ride along. I refused. No matter what, would not do it. Who else was there? There was, Paul.
Yep.
Star Wars.
Yep.
Actually, Paul Star Wars was there.
He
The
took
Turbo
out his,
Miata.
I was going to say his Miata.
That
'cause
car's
I've seen his
super
post
fast.
about that.
Paul with the Civic.
Yep.
He was there. His whole crew. I don't really know who they are. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but
Yep.
they came out there. His whole crew. He's out there ripping in the Civic and got me super jealous because I did not take it. Who else was there? Bear.
Oh,
Bear
sick.
and I believe what's the other guy's name?
Nick.
Thank you. They were out there. Not only were they out there, 2-man up at all times. 2-man up
They
at all.
just switched
Every
positions?
time I saw that car on the track, 2 men.
It was
2 men at all times.
it's because it was corner balance with
I was
both of
saying,
them in it. Yeah.
Dude, and it was. I'd be driving, and then you kind of see a little corner come up behind you, and there's just 2 helmets in there. And I'm just like, well, that's terrifying because Bear and this other gentleman, Nick, are large men.
Yeah.
And they're in like an E36, which isn't a big car, and you see him kind of hustling around the track. Yeah, I'm sure I missed it. Jesse was there.
Yeah. What was Jesse driving? What was he doing?
E30 M3. Yeah, he was driving.
Jeez, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
he was driving. He was handing out the pointers. There's like one corner at Canaan that I struggle with. I struggled with it last year. I struggled with it this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a very late left.
Yep.
And when you see it, it like drops off and you know it's a left. So I'm always turning like way too, maybe like 3 or 4 seconds early.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of turning left, straight, and then to the right.
Then to the actual.
So it's like so much movement and so much wasted time and energy and everything. And then I get in Jesse's car for a ride along, and it's just like, whoop. I'm like, fuck.
Was it the last corner?
No, it's...
Because that's a weird one.
So if you're pulling out, you're running clockwise.
Yep.
The first one, then the second one is going to be like that U-turn.
Yep.
And then it's going to be the third.
Oh, okay. That big long left.
Left. I was making essentially 3 turns out of 1.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I wasn't committing at the right time. I was early. I was in late. It was just...
Can you pick a different visual spot?
It's blind. But the thing is like I did 5 15-ish minute sessions.
Yep. Right. So yeah.
And I was joking with myself and Ed and some other people who were there. Is like, I'm going around the track in 1:20 seconds.
Yep.
I fuck it up. And then by the next 1:20 seconds, I've already forgotten.
You're like a snake.
Yeah, I'm already again turning. It was almost like a habit. I forgot. It was more of like a habit of turning in. But I'd then be like, okay, I'm going to take my time, go around the track and nail this one. And then I would. And the best part is you get out there and you're like, go out there with Jesse. He points everything out and you're like, all right, good. You get in your car. And for like 3 laps, you're like on it. And then I'm like, oh, I fucked that one up. And then next corner, you're like, oh, I fucked that one up.
Just
and you're
lose
like,
it, right?
Before you know it, you're like, I messed up this whole lap.
Yeah.
Just a tire throwaway lap.
Yeah, but like, that's part of the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's
Absolutely.
like, no one's out there like winning anything.
Yeah.
You know, we're all just
there's
out there
nothing
having
to
fun,
Day with
hanging
the
out.
boys and girls.
What were you using to time your laps?
I wasn't using anything. Others had like an app. I don't know what the apps are called.
Okay. Yeah.
But others using those. But I mean, driving on the track at the same pace of other people within like a proximity of them.
Yep. And keeping
It's
pace. Yeah.
Ish. Yeah. Ish.
Yeah.
If it's 120, 130, I don't know. It's definitely not under 120. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
being in a car that goes under 120, I know I'm not doing that. So, but it's so much fun. It's a great time.
Yeah.
It's like, especially for what the charge is, like how much it costs to do it for the day. You know, you can't beat it.
And you could do like extra legal speeds like without any repercussions.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you can kind of do not whatever you want, but like you can drive however you'd like.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's not really a super fast track.
No.
You know, a lot of it's more momentum, and you kind of, I learned that, and then I all of a sudden I was like, oh, I feel I'm traveling at a lower mile per hour, but I feel like I'm moving a lot faster. So that was cool. Yeah, overall, it just, we talked about it last year. It's a ton of fun to do. I'll definitely do it again. Yeah, the thing is, I kind of like drifting, where like I enjoy going to watch drifting and getting a ride along, but I'm not going to go build a drift car.
I'm kind of the exact opposite of that.
Really?
Yeah. I would love to build a drift car. I don't have the talent or money to do that at the moment, but I can't really watch it.
See, I don't know.
Interesting.
Have you been for a ride along?
No, not that I think.
Have you tried watching the Europeans?
Listen, they're a little bit crazy.
But way more precise, I feel.
Oh yeah.
After watching the Drift Masters arena thing, I love FD and I love both sides of it. But I'm just like, holy shit, this is...
Well, I mean, you got to remember too, one of the competitors in Drift Masters is the current WRC champion.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Kalle Rovanperä.
Yep.
He's like the youngest ever WRC top tier champion for Toyota last year, and he's out there doing that for fun.
Yep.
Yeah. So like just the caliber of driver you've got there is ridiculous.
It's just everything is so precise and sharp and on each other, on the wall, on everything.
That's all down to the tracks they use too. Like
Yeah.
out here it's
They're going to be bigger tracks, a lot more speed, a lot more
space.
Like
too.
I picture Atlanta, for instance, when they run that. It's just like it's an awesome
Yeah.
scene regardless. But it's not as tight quarters, so I feel like it's easier to gap somebody.
Yeah,
for sure.
of course.
Whereas doing it in an arena, you know what you're getting every single time, and just fall into position basically. But yeah, it just that one. I almost feel like you'd be more apt to watch that one.
Oh, absolutely. Especially
Yeah.
the stadium atmosphere vibe.
Yeah,
55,000 people there. It'd be like an actual soccer match.
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
Wild.
yeah.
But yeah, so kind of like I was saying about drifting, I enjoy watching it. I enjoy going for ride-alongs. I'm not going to build a drift car.
Yeah.
For this track day stuff, it's like I enjoy doing this, but I can't picture like having a car specifically set aside for this activity.
Going to the next level up. Like
Yeah,
tier
I
up.
think like my 1 Series is a great car for that. It's just like
Yeah. It's,
I drive it every day. I can drive it there. It's comfortable. Like it was cold in the morning. I had heated seats on. I was driving around the track. Like it's great.
Yours
it's great.
Yours isn't a 1M, right?
No.
Okay,
Oh
yeah.
no, I wish,
Listen,
but no.
I mean, but you can, especially like you said, you can daily drive it. You can throw stickier tires on it, a little bit better brake system, and you've
Yeah.
got a fun vehicle you can drive every day that you can also push on the track.
Yeah, so that's why like I couldn't ever picture like having, because there was a lot of cars there that were just like dedicated
Dedicated track
track
cars.
vehicles, but that's their hobby. I
Yeah.
get it. So I get it. It's like their hobby. Same thing with drifting. Like, but for me, it's just kind of I enjoy going, having a good time, test
Yeah.
myself a little bit. I actually think Soma said his personal best in his fit, which is crazy, was a 115.5.
Wow. That's committed.
He was moving.
That's committed.
He was moving. Yeah, I pointed him by a few times. Yeah, he was moving. So, but the fit looked really good out there. It was like, man, it's a fit. Can do
I was gonna
everything.
say, which
it can
is
do
cool.
everything.
Yeah, which is cool because I don't know what's he get done to that thing. Just suspension, tires, maybe.
Brakes, tires.
Every so often, I think about like selling my Volvo and buying like a Fit or a Yaris and just beating the tar out of it on the
Yeah.
racetrack.
Yeah, it's tough because like some of the like purely just dedicated track vehicles, then you get into like, all right, now I got a truck and I got a trailer.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Right. That
But-
can very easily. Yeah.
To sum up my point, you don't need any of it. You can just go out there and have a good time, even in your daily. Even last year, the guy in a sport wagon out there ripping, like he's having a good
I
time.
want to start doing track days with my car probably next year.
It was a ton of fun. It was a ton of
Isgro.
fun.
Isgro did sport. Did a bunch of track days in his sport wagon.
Nice.
Upgraded tires and brake pads. That was it.
That's
There you go.
basically,
Yeah.
I put base GTI brakes on my car. It's
Yep.
phenomenal.
Yep.
CPO is just about up, so I think I'm going to go to tune in the spring and
Yep.
have some fun there.
Is
There
it
you go.
manual?
No, it's a DSG.
DSG?
DSG all-wheel drive.
Did they make those manual?
They did.
Very select few, I'd
Clutches
imagine.
are junk.
Okay.
Like the stock clutch gives out at like 300 horsepower, which
Yeah.
is why.
Which I was going to say most manuals in those cars, as soon
Yeah.
as you tune them.
I mean, think about it too. Like the car was designed to have the DSG in it.
Right.
It was an afterthought to put the stick in it for the American market to try and get more sales.
Yep.
From like manual purists, but you got to get the transmission that works in it, and that's the DSG. And mine has the same drive line as a Golf R.
Yep.
So I mean, the engine's different, but everything else is the same. So it does have launch control.
Yeah.
But you can put the TC
OEM launch control, like it's in there.
It
Is
is
it
in there.
turned on?
You have to hold the traction control button down. It'll say you have to put it in sport mode, so you pull the stick back. Push the TCS button down for like 5 seconds.
Yep.
It'll say something on the multi-screen.
Yeah,
between the
yeah.
gauges. And then you put your foot on the brake, put your foot on the gas. It'll hold revs up to about $4,000.
Yep.
You gotta wait for it to build boost, and then let your foot off the brake, and away it goes.
It is in there then without having to unlock it with
Yep.
a computer, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, I never knew that. That's
Yeah,
funny.
It's quite amusing, even with just 150 wheel it makes stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun to do.
Jetta2NR asked, what track would you like to drive on most? Now, I don't know if that's directed towards us, but we're going to take it.
So there's
Person who
something.
can probably name the most tracks.
Oh,
I'm-
What track would you like to drive on most?
in globally or
Sure, fuck it.
hell,
Why not?
even
Universally.
in video game land, because there's a track that I absolutely love in video that doesn't exist.
you could say Rainbow Road from
Maple
No, I
Valley.
don't- yeah, Maple Valley's tight. So Maple Valley was based. It's based kind of on Lime Rock before they had the license for Lime Rock.
Yep.
So that's why it all looks as it does.
It's so fucking
It's
good.
wild. That first corner is nuts.
Yeah.
Just
That first corner was my favorite thing to do, like drifting.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I built an E9 BMW and was just drifting
just pile
the
car
entire
down in
track,
there,
but
yeah.
like that corner was just
it's a massive.
amazing.
I don't even know there's so many tracks I would want to drive for different reasons. Obviously, Lime Rock, it's local.
Yep.
Watkins Glen's wild, it's the fastest road course in North America. Fuji Speedway,
Oh yeah.
Bathurst,
Scuba.
yeah, just to see what I could do around there.
Yep.
Um,
Same thing. And it's definitely on my, let's call it bucket list. Nordschleife. Just as overplayed and as it is.
yeah,
what it
no,
is.
I get it.
It more of a like to see it and go around it at least one. Not even at like speed. Like, yeah, I really want to
Just take it out and
just to
tool
go
around.
Just
yeah.
to go. Yeah.
That would be a wild one. There's like old tracks that I like for various stupid reasons. Like there's this track that existed in Germany called Avus,
Mm-hmm.
and it was 11 miles long, and it was literally just 6 miles down and back on a highway. Like the end of it, you just crank a 180 and
Just a
go straight
hairpin.
back. Yeah, and just cook. up
How
the
tight
back.
was the 180? Like a slow down or like
yeah.
a flat out?
Oh no, it was slow. It would literally they would at the end of the track's existence, it was like a 2 mile track, but they would take out the center divider. It was like Armco and like the stakes, and you just go around that. Yeah. So
What a weird fucking.
oh, it's wild.
Did they put a chicane in the middle anywhere?
No, they did at the end on the short circuit just because like there was a corner that was a little wild and like,
Yeah.
you'd get not great going into it. If you get turned, it would hurt.
Yeah. They had to slow it down a bit.
There's some videos, I'll have to find them from somewhere of like DTM racing there in 88, and that's
Yeah.
when the track was about 6 miles long. And you've got dudes actually like straight up NASCAR and Spec Miata style bump drafting down the straightaways in like E30 M3s, Ford
Yeah,
Sierras.
yeah.
It's wild.
Right. Just pedal down and you're
Breakneck
just
speed,
doing
yeah.
whatever you can
Back
to go.
in the 50s, too, the North Curve, which is the more open one,
Mhm.
was banked. But it
Yep.
wasn't banked like, 10, 15. It was 43 degrees or something like that. It was all brick.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It was called the Wall of Death.
just
That
like,
makes sense. It
This
checks out.
fucking
Yeah,
cobblestone.
You just hammer down in there in a 50s Grand Prix car and
Yeah.
no wall on the top. So like some dudes went off and you get
My
like
God.
the car would just smoke a pole.
What a world.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what a world. One thing I'm very excited to see, I wish I was going there to see it in person. Gridlife's going to be at Laguna Seca, and they're actually going to drift the corkscrew.
How?
I don't know. We're going to see how it looks.
That's a lot of loads put on cars.
That's
that it
yeah.
won't like.
Yeah, it's going to be a dancing. That suspension is going to be dancing. Everything's going to be dancing. I'm very eager to see what that
The
looks like.
compression out of that's going to be nuts.
Think
that-
about like this, like
Yeah.
how much weight's going to come down on that rear end,
Yeah.
On that left
and
hand,
then as it's going to come back
when you're
out.
taking the right, yeah, that's going to be
It's
in
gonna
that
be
all
unloaded.
outside tire, just like
It's gonna be
everything.
it's gonna be unloaded coming over the top, and then you
Yep.
have to flick it the other way, and then it's just compress the shit out of it.
all of the G's.
It's almost like a jump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If,
Yeah.
If your like rear control arms aren't up to snuff, you're gonna snap some.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Better
that's a lot. That's
You
a
better
lot of
hope
load.
those wheels are torqued.
I don't know who is on that list who's driving it, but I'm sure it'll be a fun
It's gonna be
list
nuts,
for sure.
Yeah.
Super pedestrian answer. I would love to drive the OG Top Gear test track.
Bedford Autodrome or whatever.
Yeah.
It's gone now, right?
The
Isn't it?
Dunsfold. It was Duns. No, it's there.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought there were houses at
Not
some
yet.
point.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Just because it's like iconic for me watching it.
Oh, of course.
And you've seen so many cars drive around it. And like, I just want to see, I want to drive by those tires.
At speed.
At speed.
Make a move.
Yeah. Like I just, and like that big right or the big left after the tires, like that every single one of like the celebrity, like
Pile it off into the grass.
would always like go through the grass.
Yeah.
Like I just want to, I want to drive that track.
I would like 10, 15 laps to see the fastest time I can go and then see which celebrities I beat.
That
Yeah.
would be awesome.
And maybe if you get, because I mean, obviously all the F1 drivers drove that like shitbox Liana. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Liana. So like, which ones would I be faster in my own vehicle?
Yeah. Yeah, that would
That's
be.
a very good. Yeah.
Just
a
think
very
how many
good track.
times you saw a car go around that track. Not even as like an entirely filmed lap. I mean, obviously you saw all the stick ones, but even all the like the car shoots they did out there.
Oh,
and all
yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah. The tests, everything.
The problem,
Man,
the problem with
iconic.
that circuit, and especially like you saw with all like the celebrities, the dead flat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So like the reference points are
gone.
yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing. As a matter of fact, they were added at some point. They
Yeah.
added whether it's jersey barriers or
Yeah.
braking points or numbers to count down.
Because the actual way you would go through like Hammerhead is just like a painted line.
Right. It's yeah, and then
Yeah.
like there's some
But
cones.
there's so many
Yeah.
painted
Yeah.
lines
Yeah.
too. It's like which one?
Oh yeah, coming
Yeah.
up on the cones, you just see a sea of them.
Yeah.
because it's flat.
Yeah. Ah,
Yeah.
man.
That'd be a cool one for me.
I don't think we're ever going to see a show automotively capture so many of the same people the way that did.
No, I don't think so. Because the thing that show had that the other shows, like automotive shows, don't have, in my opinion, is that at least over there, it captured like the common man. It didn't have to
course.
capture just a car person.
Right.
It captured just someone
Everybody.
who's in favor of just an entertainment.
Yep.
So,
That's also why they would do the celebrity segments as well.
Yeah.
Like there are people we didn't know about because they were English.
We'd have
Oh,
no
for
idea.
sure.
Yeah.
But it got people's eyes on the program because they had
Yeah.
someone from like whatever some
Different
sitcom
movie
over there,
or
yeah.
TV or
but it's like, hey, if
musician.
you're a fan of comedy, it worked for you.
Yep.
If you're a fan of history, it worked for you. If you're a fan of cars, it worked for you. If you just wanted to see celebrities, it worked for you.
general entertainment.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, I need my hour block that I have to watch a program. It's like this is a good choice because like
Exactly.
it would cover everything for me.
And like you said, it I don't want to say dumbed it down because it never really dumbed it down, but they put things in perspective that the average non-car person would understand and
Yeah.
want to watch more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they weren't. I mean, yeah, they had a ton of supercar reviews, but they also had like some like common car, like you had Volkswagen GTIs, like a Renault Megane R26.
Yeah.
yeah. They
Just
would do
general
like
stuff.
the normal pedestrian
Yeah.
stuff in fun, quirky ways, but also informative. Like,
Yeah,
I remember one of them. It was like they opened the segment by saying they've got a lot of complaints and they're not covering enough of like the everyday vehicles, and then like the segment is like how many dogs they can fit, and then like one is like how many dogs they can fit, and then the next car is like how many like old ladies with like their tea can they fit, and it was like it was funny, it was quirky. But then they also like were like, yeah, it's got 110 brake horsepower and a 0 to 60 time in 30 seconds or whatever it was, and it was like, okay,
in my opinion, it would be a way more fun to car drive than a supercar.
yeah.
Cane the thing.
Again, one of those cars at Canaan, for instance, with 10 different people to drive
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
It'd be
The-
great.
the best time ever.
There was another like what was the other thing? And also with like bringing the everyman in, like I didn't really like it to an extent with the cheap car challenges because they always managed to like fuck a real nice car up.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm one of those weirdos that's like I don't care about modifying an old car, but if you're just gonna destroy a nice clean example of one for the fuck of it,
Yeah.
it hurts a little. Especially when there's not like more being made.
Yeah.
Right. When there's just no more. That's it. When it runs out, it runs out.
Yeah, I think, and then another track for me would be every time I watch F1, I really like the Silverstone track.
That's a big boy track.
Yeah.
You got to commit a lot there.
I'm not a big commitment guy.
Yeah.
So,
So man, you got a wife.
a fiance. Yeah,
that's
fiance
just
for sure.
some
Oh,
commitment
no,
there.
no. Let's see. Okay, let's be clear. Let's retract that statement. In a car,
Fair.
Listen, if I'm not vibing it, I'm out.
Hey, at least it being a grade 1 F1 track,
Yeah.
if you do lose it, you got 83 miles of pavement before you hit anything.
Yeah. But yeah, that track, as far as F1 watching it, that is like
If I was going to do an
Awesome.
F1 track, it might be a little weird, but Interlagos,
okay.
because it's still got some like wild corners in there, and it's a lot of elevation. If you make a mistake there's a lot of grass instead of a lot of pavement. So
Yeah.
you're going to go for a ride. I'm not a big fan of these modern F1 tracks, though. They're
No?
just too... ugh.
A little too sterile
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, that's kind of what you have to build to...
for the speeds of traveling.
For
and
the
stuff?
speeds of traveling, for like... There's actually a very thick rule book that involves what is involved in designing a brand new F1 track.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't have X amount of meters after the start-finish line. The first corner has to be within this amount of radius, et cetera, et cetera. It's very clinicalized. You're not just, like, slapping a layout on.
Not
piece
throwing
of
a piece
land.
of spaghetti at the
Exactly,
fridge and going,
exactly.
there's my layout.
Exactly. And they like that's why you get all these people that are like, I want F1 to go to Watkins Glen. I want F1 to go to Road America.
It's not that easy.
It's not like, and it would kill the track.
Yeah.
What I'm fascinated, and I haven't seen enough content of it, of what they're doing to Vegas to prep. Because every time, let me rephrase that. I haven't seen enough detailed content to speak to what they're doing to Vegas, other than we're cutting this up, we're adding this, we're repaving this, moving this.
I think you're not seeing a lot of that because the people of Vegas hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was there in April, and they had the grandstands built.
Mhm.
They had pit lane built, and they had a bunch of it paved. By a bunch of it, it was mainly not the track portion. It was like off-track sections
Yeah.
that were paved. And at that point in April, they had actually already had like steel barricades up, but that's it.
Yeah.
Just that was it there. But I mean, that
So-
was 5 months, almost 6 months ago.
One of the main problems I have with that Vegas track is that it goes around the sphere,
Yeah.
and that thing
The
creeps
sphere is
me
the
out.
stupidest
I
thing.
hate that thing.
It's
So stupid.
It's so dumb.
It's
So
it's
I
just-
got to see it before it was ever turned on.
Yeah.
And it was just a black
Yeah.
giant sphere in the middle of the sky.
yeah.
You're like, this is like really weird.
And then
Yeah.
they turn it on, and it's a giant eyeball, and, you're
And then
like,
it
what
gets
the hell
it gets
is this?
fucking
Yeah.
weirder.
Yeah.
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 And then I've seen the blue screen of death on it.
Yeah.
They've turned it into a basketball.
I see
Like
it as the moon.
it's just
Yeah.
all I'm saying is the wrong civilization, not on Earth, is going to see that from afar and
They're
be
gonna-
like, "Yeah, we don't like that. We're done.
Yeah.
We're gonna."
They're either gonna blast us,
That's what I mean. They're just kind of soft.
or they're
Yeah.
just gonna be like, I'm not stopping there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
I
the
think-
south of the border of the galaxy.
One of the weirdest thing, Pud, but the sphere is sick. I don't know about that, buddy.
The eye is what
The
freaks
eye
me
is-
out. The fucking eye. Like somebody took a picture from their hotel
Yeah, no.
and
screw
like they
that.
just open the shades and it's just this fucking
It's like
big
a human eye. Yeah, and it's like
dude,
blinking
what
and
is
shit.
This doesn't make me feel right.
I guess one of the biggest complaints that I've seen online, obviously, you take that with a grain of salt because it's just what I'm reading,
Mhm.
but is that Vegas that is being disturbed by F1 will not be back to its normal operating condition until late December.
Yeah, doing street circuits is a giant pain in the dick.
Late December.
Wow.
But it's also taking place mid-November, so if it does take a month to take it down something that it took them 6 months to build,
yeah.
they're pretty good.
Yeah, but it also starts at 1 o'clock in the morning for us.
Does it really?
Yeah, it's the 10 p.m. local time start.
That's 10. Actually, it's not bad. 10 p.m. local times, hour and a half
That's
ish.
fine, but
Yeah.
like for us, that fucking blows. Like,
It'll be exciting. I'll watch it.
That'll be cool.
I mean, I stay
Yeah.
up routinely till 1 a.m. to watch
oh, I
UFC.
know.
So
Fuck
like,
that. That's too late.
yeah. No, I mean,
yeah.
it's whatever for me.
I another thing that's like, so one of my other hobbies is combat robotics, like battle bots, and
There's a stadium there.
well, yeah, that's the thing. It's right next to where the track is, so they can't do this year's tournament.
Yeah.
'Cause it's normally done in like October,
Figures.
and they're like, well, the track's being built, and we can't do that, so they have to push next season's filming off till like 2024.
So you were a fan of Grant Imahara.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah.
I
Just
just
that guy.
it's combat robotics is wild.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's insane. Yeah. I don't follow it, but I see clips of it every now and again
So-
somehow.
if this is like totally out of left field, but like the shit you see on TV is just like the top echelon of it.
Yep.
Much like Formula One is like the top echelon of open wheel racing. So there's the minor leagues of it, which is they have everything down to like 1 pound machines.
Yep.
Norwalk, Connecticut actually hosts the largest low weight class tournament in the world.
No shit.
Like once every 2-3 months.
Oh,
for
wow.
3, 12, and 30 pounds. It's sick. And a lot of the people that build the machines that you see on TV also build these lower weight class machines either to test future products or just because it's something fun to do.
Yeah.
So it's you go to Norwalk, Connecticut, which is, hour and a half, 2 hours from here. It's an hour-ish from my house.
Yeah.
And it'd be like seeing like a Lewis Hamilton or a Max Verstappen just show up at like a pickup
Kart race or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
It's sick.
Are there, is it like cockfighting? People betting?
You could.
Are there any illegal underground robotics fights?
Most likely. These machines are dangerous.
So that's these are, when you say a 30-pound one, that could fucking
3
destroy a
pounds can
human.
kill you.
Yeah.
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 Like a 3-pound one, if it's like a vertical spinner, they've got a 1 pound spinning apparatus on it that's spinning at 15,000 RPM.
Hence why they need to do it in a particular arena.
Yes. Because you will die.
Yeah.
If you get hit by that.
Have they? So what are the rules for these things? They have to do they have to? All right, is it just pounds, or do they have to stay? Can they break a height?
There is like a size limit they try to keep it to just so you don't get a little weird, but it's like a 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot cube
Okay.
for the small ones, and the bigger ones are a little bit bigger.
Are there any stand-up ones like Honda made that robot? That are we fighting robots yet, or
So, kind of.
what? Okay.
If you have an unconventional locomotion, which is not wheels,
Mm-hmm.
you get a weight brake, so you can put a little bit more weight in your machine.
Okay.
But you've got these dudes that build shufflers, which is basically imagine 4 feet next to each other that move really, really
I picture
fast.
like the wind-up bunnies, the way those feet used to
Yes,
move,
yes,
one on top of itself.
Yes, but put 4 of them next to each other and they move really fast, so it
Yep.
still has the same speed as like a wheel.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So really fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they can weigh up to like 1.5 times
Yeah.
the weight limit.
Shout out to Jordan, $5 in the chat. Thank you very much, buddy. Also, stop overdrafting your account.
Yeah. You don't need to do that for us. Think long term, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're what, 23, 24? Like,
we love him. Maybe his mom can spot him $5. I'll spot her $5.
hey, spotted her $5 last night.
The BattleBots thing, I remember growing up watching it on TV. Oh, jeez. Tim Connors, $5 from
From Jordan's mother.
There we go.
Reminds me, I just started watching The Sopranos last night for the first time.
Oh,
For the
boy.
hold on, okay.
Hey, listen, I was poor. I didn't have HBO.
No,
growing
no,
up.
listen.
Still poor.
We still haven't finished it. We started season 6.
I started season 1.
Yeah.
I watched 2 episodes last night. I want to watch a bajillion more.
I was going to say, you'll be pleasantly surprised. One thing I took away was I'm pleasantly surprised how funny it was.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Listen, you put a bunch of people with those New Jersey Italian accents in
Those
one place, it's
yeah.
going to be unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah. The outcomes are going to be good.
Oh, yeah. For saying even the most mundane shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's phenomenal.
Fuck it. Let's put them all in the White House.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, but it's a fantastic show. It's a good winter watch.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That's
It's like a
why I'm
really
starting
good winter
it now,
watch.
Yeah.
Even my wife said she wants to watch the whole thing over again.
Tyler
just because-
Page with $9.99. This is coming from my F5 fund. Like
Is he
the
buying
jet,
a- yeah,
or
like an F5
Yeah,
Phantom?
F5. What do you
what
got?
are we buying?
F5
Nah, he's
key for keyboard?
What do you call it? What is
Forza
it? Factory
5? Factory 5. Okay.
Oh, okay. They make some
Factory
cool shit.
5. Yes, they make some very cool stuff.
I would love a Factory 5 Cobra.
I don't. Yeah. So Tyler, tell us. Maybe you did earlier and I missed it. What kind of Factory 5 vehicle are we looking to build, buy, fund? Because I don't really know what they got going on.
I'm one of those degenerates that wouldn't put a V8 in it, though.
What would you
What
put
would
in
you
it?
put?
Either a rotary or a turbo K20.
A rotary would be
Or just a
interesting.
regular K20 with ITB.
Hearing a Cobra just
Yeah.
that would be fucking pretty goddamn funny. Just let me start this up real quick.
Just
That
sounds
would
like
definitely be
sounds like a
pretty funny.
two-stroke dirt bike
Yeah,
in idle.
yeah.
It'd be interesting because they're pretty light. You put a pretty light engine
And you
in
can put it way far back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
The track I was going to mention before, Spa.
Spa is overrated.
Spa is such a cool track.
Spa has like 2 cool corners, and that's it.
Bang bang! Shots fired.
Going
Shots fired.
up, going up the hills, very cool.
Rouge and Radion are cool, yeah. And then Puhan.
And the
which is-
whole backside though,
Yeah, but it used
it's
to
got
be
a
cooler.
couple corners.
Puhan is cool, which is it's a real fast left-hander
Yep.
at the bottom of a hill. You come out of like what the fuck's it? The chicane.
Yep.
His name that I'm absolutely forgetting at the Lacombe. You go down the hill into the hairpin, and then you make that left, and then go down the hill in that real fast double left. That's
Yep.
Wuhan. That
Yep.
corner is wild. That corner used to be taken flat out in an F1 car, which is bananas.
That's crazy.
I hate the bus stop that's been around now for about 20 years. That just like real terrible double hairpin.
Yeah.
The old one where it was actually like, well, because they called it the bus stop because it was a bus stop at one point.
Yep.
And it was, you'd come in, just flick over both, like a Watkins Glen bus stop, but a bit faster.
What track, I don't want to be morbid, what track in F1 had the most deaths at it? Because I think Spa's
Spa's pretty high because
up there pretty good.
It's
not good, but pretty high. Let's rephrase that.
Yeah, Spa would be pretty high up there because they've been racing there since like 1929.
Yep.
Obviously Monaco because you can throw somebody in the water.
Yep.
The Nordschleife.
When they did race
yeah.
there, that's always certainly I'd say that's most
I mean,
dangerous. I'd
well,
imagine.
technically, if you want to consider what track has had the most deaths that has hosted an F1 race in history, it'd be the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yo, that's crazy. You do that.
Well, they've been
That's fucking wild. dude.
I told you the man's he's got it.
Well, Indianapolis hosted the F1 World Championship for 10 years, like in the 50s.
Yep.
Yep.
They weren't run to like particular F1 rules, but like it was part of the World Driver Championship.
Is that the one where there was the mate? No, I'm thinking the one where they took out fans.
That's Le Mans 55.
Okay, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
that's
All
where
right.
Mercedes decided to
Yeah.
tear through a crowd. And
Yep.
Not great. But yeah, it would definitely be Indianapolis because, I mean, think about it, the 500 has been going on there since 1909.
Yep.
And until, I mean, it's the last person died there in, I want to say it was 1996.
In an F1 or just in general?
In an open wheel car.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, like if it's tracks that F1 has been to.
Right.
it would be
Yeah, on that
Indianapolis.
list. Yeah.
7 drivers have died.
At Spa?
Indianapolis.
Oh, no, it's more than that.
Oh. You had Indianapolis. This says
Yeah.
it's seen the most fatalities. 7 drivers have died.
Oh, no.
So you got to correct Wikipedia here.
Yeah,
then.
well. Listen, Wikipedia. I went on the
Hey,
Kermit
it knew the F1 track was had the most fatalities.
Listen, I went onto the Kermit the Frog page on Wikipedia today, and it goes Osama bin Laden, mostly known as Kermit the Frog.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, 7 seemed pretty low, but
7's very low.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you see?
Indianapolis Motor
I
Speedway.
think it's got it.
I have 74.
Yeah, the only track with more fatalities in general is the Isle of Man. They've got 100 and some
Right,
odd.
that-
Yeah, well, that
yeah,
makes
that's-
sense. That checks out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and I mean, even list of fatalities at Indianapolis Motor Speedway from 1909.
yeah,
It right from the start.
yeah. I mean, you think about it, you're cooking around there at 235 miles an hour.
I never
currently.
realized how dangerous
Oh,
of a
it's
track. I
wild.
think the last time I watched, it's not Formula E. What's the other? Oh, IndyCar.
IndyCar, yeah.
Somebody went to the wall real bad a year or two ago.
Yeah. So from a lot of people that have raced on that track, including F1 drivers in general that have raced like in the 500, like Nelson Piquet and Fernando Alonso, the scariest corner in the world is turn 1 at Indianapolis. You're going down the front straight at 240 miles an hour. You've got walls on both sides of you. You've got people on both sides of you, so you can't see around it.
Yeah.
And because each corner is 90 degrees, you're just looking straight at a wall. And you have to pitch the car in at 240 miles an hour and hope it sticks.
Right. And hence why a lot of accidents I've seen there are on that outside wall because it doesn't stick. That's wild.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I want to say it was 2018, Sebastian Bourdais had a wreck in qualifying where he shattered his pelvis. It lost grip, the rear lost grip coming out of 2, and it didn't even go all the way around. It just kind of went like this, and he caught it and smacked the wall,
Yep.
and it shattered his pelvis.
Just because of the sheer speed.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
2015, James Hinchcliffe almost died because I think he had some problem in turn 3, hit the outside wall, and the tub failed, and which is like the chassis.
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
vehicle.
Yeah.
And the 2 right front upper A arms went through both of his legs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was very close to hitting like if they had taken 5 or 10 more minutes, he would have been dead. He was bleeding out in the car.
Right. Just hit. What is it? That main leg vein.
Yeah,
I forgot what
one
it
of
is.
the
But
arterial veins.
Yeah.
Like,
one of the worst things I've ever seen was somebody messed that up. I didn't even see it happen. I seen the aftermath. It shut down the skate park for like 2 days.
oh yeah, you had to clean it up.
they did, but like they're like, yeah, you can't ride any of these ramps.
One of the
It's
gnarliest
wild.
One of the gnarliest wrecks in Indy 500 history is in, I think it was 72. Gordon Smiley was killed. He lost the rear coming out of 2, but he overcorrected it and it nosed in out of 2. And they
Oh my God.
It basically vaporized his body, and they were scraping brain matter off the track.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, this is fun.
Sorry for being a bit morbid.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you knew. We asked. You
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, and the man knows a lot.
Too much.
Yeah.
What is your fascination with that stuff? I know I asked you that briefly before we really started recording.
Motorsports or death?
Motorsports in particular, or is it just all car things?
It's most car things.
Okay.
There are a few things I don't really like a lot.
Yep.
Mainly like expensive EVs.
Yeah. Yeah.
See the point of them.
Like Audis.
No, I'm like the new Maserati.
Oh, okay. I don't know who likes that.
Well, no.
There's a new one that popped up.
It's gorgeous. It's the new Gran Turismo. And
We'll
you
have to take a look at it later.
you can
Yeah.
get it as an EV or a gas car. But
Okay. Oh, did we talk about
I
that?
think the one we looked at last time. Yeah.
Yeah.
a couple
Oh, we
weeks ago.
talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like, who in their right mind would get this as the
So,
EV option?
people that buy Maseratis
Mm-hmm.
want to be seen and heard.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you spending $200,000 on a Gran Turismo for it to be quiet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
to be silent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These dudes aren't doing that.
I guess they can still be seen. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not going to turn any heads because they can't hear it.
Yeah.
And that's how the Maserati driver drives.
It's
It's gorgeous, though.
a beautiful looking car. Yeah, I think actually we did talk about that, right?
Yeah, and then there's another one that was just out today as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to pull a little switcheroo. We can take a look at that. Speaking of, actually, while Josh digs for whatever he's looking for.
I was just double checking, make sure I didn't have any specific callbacks.
Tim Connors up there. Yes, that was not great. I forgot the dude's name. Shane Hammond.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so if you go down the back straight at Thompson,
Mhm.
there's that big Budweiser sign.
Yep.
In the race, it wasn't even qualifying or practice, and it wasn't a quarter midget; it was a NEMA midget. That's like a full blown. They're like 4-cylinder, 350 horsepower. They run on alcohol. The car weighs 900 pounds.
Jesus.
Yeah, they're wild. He went over the tire of someone else, and it launched the car out of the track and into that big Budweiser sign.
Bit of a freak scenario.
Yeah. I don't like midgets in general because like they're very sketchy looking. It's kind of like a sprint car but narrower,
Yep.
and they just too tall and too narrow for me.
To the ass over tea kettle.
Yeah, and midgets, much like super modifieds, which is another whole different animal, but they're open wheel, big winged oval cars.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a small crash in those. They're always plane crash.
It's going to be a dramatic,
It's
right?
gonna be a plane crash. There's gonna be shit everywhere. You're
Yep.
gonna tumble. You're gonna not necessarily live through it.
Yep.
But that's all for sport, I guess.
Why are those a gateway into other, or do people just? What's the best way I can describe or articulate this? Like, do people just fall into that class and like, oh, I just really love this class? Sort of like if they fall into a particular chassis of, I really love racing.
It depends.
Camaros.
It depends. Generally, if you're a super modified driver, someone in your family was prior to you.
Mhm.
Super modified it's basically, we refer to them as redneck Indy cars.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big block V8. It makes 950 horsepower, runs on alcohol. It hangs out the left side of the car. 4 different size tires on it. Active aero on top that's hydraulically controlled. And there's the rule book for them is a set of guidelines instead of this is what you must do. This is what you must do. So every car is completely built in house.
Open for interpretation.
Yeah. So every car is different.
Mhm.
And you kind of learn that through your family that's done it before.
Yep.
They're wild cars. They tested once at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, which is the 1 mile up in Concord.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They did about 4 laps, and the track pulled them off and said, you can no longer run here, because they were entering the corners at 215 miles an hour. At Waterford, which is the track that I spectate and race and photographer at,
Yep.
they never get full throttle. It's a third of a mile track. They never get full throttle, and they go around there in like 11 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah. It's wild.
Jeez.
Take
Yeah.
a look up if you get a chance. Like,
Yeah.
they're nutty.
There's a few people in the chat mentioning to look it up too.
They're wild cars.
Matter of fact, actually, yeah, I can actually pull one up.
Absolutely. We can take a look at that.
ISMA ISMA super modified. Excuse me.
Yeah, because like I've heard like the term super modified, but like I wouldn't really know like to point it out.
They're
I guess
they're the fastest. I would say they're the fastest steel chassis oval car that you can build and run.
yeah. Yeah, wow. I mean, you're not kidding. These things are wild. And
They're
that engine
insane.
is just
It hangs
over
out,
there,
Yeah, it hangs out
It's
on the,
just-
on the left side.
kind of to the left, just hanging out.
It just chills.
Me too, buddy. Me too.
Yeah, to click that top left one. That's the one I was currently looking at.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, they're nuts.
Holy
They're nuts.
fuck.
Mechanical fuel injection. Like I said, the wing on the top is hydraulically operated, basically by your foot. So as you go down a straightaway and the more throttle you put into it, it flattens out.
Okay.
And then when you get off the throttle, go in the corner, it springs
Just
back
to
up.
help brake, right.
It's your downforce through the corners. They do up at Thompson. You've seen the oval at Thompson.
Yep.
At World Series weekend.
Corey's driven on it.
Yeah.
Super modified speed in his
Yeah.
Civic.
At World Series weekend, which is next weekend, I think it is, the big oval weekend at the end of the year. They have these cars there. And for a long time, someone would bring up they acquired a speed gun from like a police department.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
175 miles an hour going down the backstretch.
Oh, I did 70.
Yeah, they're nuts. And the practice sessions they run in the morning are super cool on World Series weekend because it's humid
Yeah.
and they get contrails running off the backs of the wings.
Oh my
Yeah, they're
God.
sick.
Right.
They're
Just
sick.
ripping through the
They're
atmosphere.
Sick.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like I said, every single one is different.
Look at that.
4 different size tires.
Anybody run one of these up Pikes Peak?
You can't
Okay.
because it only goes left. It doesn't like doing the other thing.
Okay.
Wow.
It's an asphalt sprint car.
Well, I
They're
guess,
pretty
yeah,
nuts.
that makes sense for the different size tires.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the engine hanging out the left. What they did used to run at Pikes Peak in the 90s, back when it was still like partly dirt,
Mm-hmm.
some dudes would buy like old Indy cars, like recently retired Indy cars. And
Yeah.
because you have to put a cage on a Pikes Peak car.
Yeah.
So like instead of it being an open cockpit, it has to have just at least some sort of
Yeah.
arms on it.
Over the
They would like re-engineer the suspension so it would raise it up, and
Mhm.
put big huge wings on it because of like the atmosphere loss, and they'd sling them up the mountain.
Yeah, these are something else.
Yeah, this is
wild. If you ever get a
crazy.
chance to see them in person,
And these all generally stick to the oval circle tracks at your local ovals.
yeah. So ISMA is the sanctioning body for it, and I don't know what's going on with them really lately. That 61 car right there, one down. That one's like the coolest looking one because if you look at the nose on it, it has like an early, like a late 2000s like Formula 3 style
Yep.
curvature to it.
We're breathing fire. The engine sits on the left way ahead of the
Yeah.
driver.
I can barely see the driver over the velocity stacks.
They run on alcohol.
How does the drive shafts work?
It's bolted right to the back of the engine. There's no starter. There's no transmission.
So, oh my God.
So they get bump started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have like a neutral, and then like you get pushed by a truck, and then pop it into.
Gear.
It's not because basically what it is, it's just connecting.
So they're rolling
Yeah.
start. That once they're rolling, they're
Oh, yeah.
rolling. Wow.
Yeah. And if you spin one out and stall it, you got to get push started again. We always joke. So a buddy of mine runs 350 Supers, which run a smaller engine, smaller tires. Like it's a more economical version of it. And him and his buddies always jokes like, why don't you just put a starter on the thing? And they're like, because it loses like 3 horsepower.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess.
They're
Good for
nutty.
them.
They're nutty. They race mostly around here.
Yep.
I think they run Seekonk once a year. I know they run Thompson, Star Speedway, which is a quarter mile in New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire, right,
Yeah.
right.
Lee Speedway in New Hampshire. They're around. Yeah, so there's one at Star right there, but like they rip.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a segment of motorsport I didn't even
They're
know.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, I had no clue this existed.
And your eyes will water when they're on the track because they're powered by alcohol.
Yeah.
Just because, right.
And it smells like remember like when you were a kid, you had like the bubble solution.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what it basically smells like in the air.
What's the fuel that burns invisible?
Methanol.
Okay, not this then.
No, that catches on fire. Like I said, every crash with these is a plane crash.
Right,
'Cause
right.
you're
Just
hauling ass.
pieces.
Yeah, well, it's just like it's like a jungle gym.
Yeah.
There's just shrapnel everywhere.
Yeah, you're in a basket of
That's
steel.
like the big aluminum slide I used to burn my ass going down. It's just like
that's the
Look at
slide
it.
that cop went down in Boston.
yeah, yeah. Wow, that's unbelievable.
They're nutty machines.
Yeah.
Absolutely nutty machines.
Well, to keep this moving, I don't have any callbacks. Did you have any other callbacks?
I did. Do you want to jump this back over?
Yeah, it's fine.
I did actually. A few quickies. We talked about the new X1 on here briefly. I get to see one in person this past weekend. Very good looking car.
I don't think I've seen one.
This was an X128, whatever. It's like they finally gave up trying to be like an SUV.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped trying to look like an X3,
Okay.
and now it just looks like a BMW hatchback.
Okay.
A little bit taller, but like it just looks like a hatchback. Front end looks great. Proportions were all cool. Like interior looked like a BMW, like they all do, but looked really good. That was awesome. And then that was in Portland. And my other thing is like, I don't know if we know anyone, Pottle, but anyone in the Portland area. I don't get Portland's like objective with parking.
So I have to ask which Portland it is.
Maine.
Okay.
Maine.
Okay.
Yes, Maine. Sorry. Thank you. Yes, Portland, Maine is where I was. Home of the Connecticut lobster roll, right?
Sounds about right.
Is it
Dave Portnoy did. He did
okay.
a thing on like
at Holy Roller? Did
High
you go to
Roller. Yeah, High Roller. But, yeah, so like in Portland, everywhere parking is like 1 hour.
That's bizarre.
But like it's all restaurants.
Yeah, you're not.
Right. And really move you in and out.
I was gonna say that's like your timer starts now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. And then if you do find a lot, it's like, okay, well, it's $55 for the day and no overnight. Okay. Well,
That's crazy because I paid $20 to park in Salem
yeah.
just
not
this
bad.
past weekend.
That's not
Which is
bad.
a bargain.
All day. Yeah, fuck
and
yeah.
then if it's not a 1 hour spot, it's a 15-minute spot.
That's illegal. That should be illegal. Like what the?
And
hell
none
are
of
you
it makes
doing?
sense.
Yeah.
Also, it's not an electric scooter town, so there's no birds or any of that stuff hanging around there.
Listen,
Chuck had his electric scooter. He was like
zipping.
literally like an alien. They've never seen this before. I mean, but I get it though. It's a very walkable town or city. I don't really know. City of Portland, town of Portland,
City.
The city of Portland.
It's a city in Maine.
Yeah, so it's very walkable and everything. But I got a big gripe with the parking. Now what we figured out was a parking ticket is $25.
Oh, just take the ticket then.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
$25 park all day.
Park all day.
That's like
$25 park overnight.
Yeah.
$25.
I saw someone on the internet a few days ago where they stole a bunch of gas from a gas station.
Okay, well, that's
They
not
put
nice.
it in like they put it in like their excursion, whatever. It was like $190. Ticket was $70.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
off
Hey,
fuel.
times
Yeah,
are
yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
Gas expensive.
It's like they got gas for like $1 and change.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Portland was well, it's really cool, but the parking situation was so bizarre. And the thing is like there's cars everywhere. It's not like there's open parking spaces and everyone else is kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about this. There's just cars everywhere.
Just double park and hope for the best.
No, I just
I can't even
parked
remember.
and figure it out.
My wife and daughter and I went there like 3-ish years ago. I think it was a pain in the ass to park as well. It was the
Probably.
same thing because we were trying to go to High Roller and Blackbird Donuts or something like that.
Holy Donut?
Holy,
Or-
no, man, maybe it was Holy Donut. Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Holy Donut's the one that's like the potato donuts everyone gets all chubbed up about.
It took us like
Potato donut.
40 minutes to
Yeah.
find. I think I ended up finding a lot that we could pay. Who knows what I paid? Probably way too much.
Yeah, you definitely did.
And then we went and ate, and it was just like it's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
This is dumb. What are we doing?
Which sucks because Portland's a super cool city. Now it's still in that city. But the parking situation was so bizarre. But anyway, the parking situation led me to see the new X1. The new X1 super cool, much more like a hatchback, less like an X3. It's about time. I think it's a better market for it. It doesn't need to pretend to be something it's
No,
not.
absolutely not.
I'd like if cars went back to individuality.
Yeah.
See, so my dad has an X1, and it just looks like a baby X3.
Right.
And it's perfect for him. He doesn't ever put anything inside of it. He literally just drives himself.
Yep.
That's
Very
it.
German though. The same sausage, different.
That's
Same
just
thought,
like
different
Audi, right? I mean, you see it all the time,
Yeah.
right?
And now it's like, oh wow, this sticks out. Like this isn't even like, it could almost be called something else, like not part of their X line. It could be like, this is I don't know, but anyway, it would be its own thing.
Y is the Y.
Yeah, it would be like its own thing. You know, it was cool. But it was nice to see one in person. We went and checked it out, looked at it.
I'll have to
Walked
check
around.
it out when I leave here.
Yeah, look at
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
And then like they make one now. It's like one of them has like the B58 in it, I believe. That's
that
like
thing's got cooked then.
yeah. So
Powered by
there's
Supra.
Yeah.
it's there's some cool stuff going on with it. I'm sure it's super
In the
expensive.
X1?
Let's see, 2024 M1 M35
That's a
XI.
long name. That's too many.
Yeah, it's a lot. Let's see, what do we got here? We got 313 horsepower.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it
Oh,
is.
wow.
And it's good. It's a good looking vehicle. I mean, don't get me wrong. It starts at 50 grand. So I'm sure as soon as you want to
X1?
paint it a color, it's going to be 55 grand.
This is way better looking than I thought.
The entry level BMW SV is 50 grand.
50 grand.
Jesus.
Let me tell you, compared to some of the way some of the other ones look,
This
it's
true.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is way better looking than I thought. If this is in fact the one that you're
No,
talking about,
that's the
not
one
it?
series.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to put M35 XI or
Yeah, you got to get rid of the 1M35 and just put X1. Yeah, that'll put us on the right track.
Oops.
I don't
There
like
we
the
go.
front ends of new BMW.
X1 and then space M35i.
Oh my
It's actually
God.
already there.
That's too
Yeah,
Jesus,
too
like
many.
Matt said, way too much of a name.
Holy. All right. Yeah.
I-
Still.
the front end, it's
Listen, I'm telling you in person,
it's better than a lot of other
I'm
BMW
super picky
stuff.
about the way they look, but in person, did I not take a photo? Oh no, I took a photo of an NSX. That's what I
Oh
did.
my God.
You
I
were
can't.
old.
I can't unsee
Old.
it now.
Yes.
I can't unsee it.
What can't you unsee? Uh-oh, he's bringing something up
Oh
here.
no.
Yeah, there was a red NSX driving around Portland.
That's
Just
bold.
Yeah, and it was like driving by, you saw it, and you're like, wow, that's super clean. And then you got up close to it, and you're like, oh, this is a very much a driver, like driver's bolster blown out, like chipped
nice.
paint on the
Hell yeah.
bumper,
Hell yeah.
and everything. Yeah,
I
it was
love
like,
that.
oh, this is someone's
I
like,
love that.
dude, come on. It doesn't look like a Dodge Caliber. That's brutal. Listen, I was excited about this car.
What color was the one you saw?
It
What
was
shade of silver?
It was a darker silver.
What was it offered in?
It was a darker silver. Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Oh
No,
no!
no.
Oh
video.
God!
Nope, get out
Oh God!
Can't do that. It's its own tab.
There we go. Let's get rid of that.
Yeah, but
mean,
it
there we
was
go.
really cool.
Give me some more photos.
I think overall, seeing its proportions, I think if it could take anything away from it, seeing its proportions were
Oh, it's
really.
got a B48 in it.
Oh, okay. So
It's a 2-liter, but it's like 313 horsepower.
which is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's a lot of horsepower in a little car.
yeah,
It was much more hatchbacky,
it's
less
a lot of car in a little package.
CV thing.
Okay.
And now we get to the
I
Genesis
don't
G80.
like that.
Jesus.
But yeah, that's kind of what I had at the
All right.
end of my
maybe
callbacks
this is
here.
harder than it looks. Maybe shook isn't the problem.
No, and I will tell you when I was trying to set up the stream over there, the mouse is so jumpy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what he's always said.
He
yeah.
actually bought a cable. He bought some stuff for it.
Oh, good.
We're gonna run like a 1,000-foot mouse cable, but it's fine.
I'm sure the lag will be a lot shorter than the current
Yeah.
lag now.
The latency is just a little off. It's like
it's
our
so
chat.
tough. Yeah.
It seemed it.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any other callbacks?
Oh yeah, my hood latch broke. I gotta fix that.
Oh jeez.
On
Wait.
Civic?
No, on the
Oh,
BMW.
okay.
The BMW, I went out my longest stint at Canon, and I like the brakes. I could smell them, and so I pull back in, and I stop in my spot. I had my little camping section set up. I didn't camp there, but I had like a little
Yeah.
chair and a cooler. And I still have my helmet on, and I heard like a noise, and I'm like, is that boiling? And I'm like, ah, shit. So like, I get out of the car, take my helmet off, put my helmet down, and go to pop the hood, and the hood release latch just comes up,
Oh no.
and the hood doesn't pop.
shit.
Oh no.
And here's the thing: I know it's a problem on those vehicles, but there's signs leading up to
Right.
it
It's
this
not
is
just
just instant.
imminent.
where you have to pull it a lot further to get it to pop,
Yeah.
or whatever. And this just went, whoop,
Sounds like it's Aero.
It didn't go
time.
anywhere. And what happened is like there's two cables because obviously BMW couldn't just make it one.
Right.
And the main one like stretches, and it essentially just like you don't have enough throw
Yep.
to engage it anymore. But yeah, it turns out took my helmet off. It was just a car behind me. It wasn't
That's a good
mine.
problem.
Small victories.
Yeah, it wasn't
small
mine.
victories.
So broke a hood latch and or didn't break it, but the cable, whatever.
Yeah.
At least it's at least it's not stuck open.
I went to Unity this weekend.
Oh, sick!
what?
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. It looked like a great first year for them.
absolutely.
With inclement weather and the threat of all that, looked like it worked out really, really
It
well.
was.
for
It was great.
That's awesome.
I liked the location a lot. Like I said, it was in like closed down the street.
Yep.
Smaller selection of vehicles, but
Yep.
obviously the weather is impacting on that. But there's
Yeah,
some
yeah.
really cool stuff there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mark III Coupe with VR all-wheel drive.
Yep.
Blue one.
Yeah. That. Did you have a time to look at that car extensively?
Not really.
Okay.
The Jetta,
So
right?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was what do they call Alpha Class at Wolfsgard.
Okay.
I didn't dismiss it, but I just walked by. It was a cool Jetta Coupe, VR, whatever. And then who was I talking to? Somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody I was talking to was like, "Oh no, you've missed everything.
The turn signals were sweet.
You've missed everything." So apparently that's his thing. Like his thing is audio visual.
Mm-hmm.
So now you start digging into the car and you start seeing all these weird, quirky, like custom lighting, custom fixtures. And I was like, "Holy shit, this
Yeah.
car is endless."
So the turn signals were LEDs,
Mm-hmm.
like chaser lights, but there was no, like, you know, on a Mark III, it has like the fog lights and the signals and the bumpers. Those were gone. It was just like a strip across the whole front bumper of the car.
Yep.
And they were in that. And when they're off, you can't see them.
That's
It's really cool.
That's the kind of stuff that's
yeah. It's missing these
especially
days.
when it's done subtly,
Yeah.
because you could do that and really fuck it up.
Oh,
too.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, like he said, if they're off, you can't tell.
yeah.
Can't tell.
That's the way to
And
go.
they're in a natural body line. Like
Yep.
that line is in the bumper,
Yep.
no matter what. And he just used that line to put them there, and it's just like perfect. Disappears. There's a bunch of other like long list of things. Also, it's been into a few iterations, right?
Has it? This is the first time I ever saw that car.
I'm pretty sure it's been
Excuse me.
a few different ways and different engines or different drivetrains or whatever, all-wheel drive, not whatever. But yeah, it's a really cool car. I ended up going back over and over to look at it.
Yeah, there's just like I'm looking at it right now here on my phone. And the engine bay is completely shaved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything color matched. The intake, the intake manifold in the VR color match. Like it was a really cool blue.
Yeah. Speaking of Jetta Coupes, who asked, did you see a Nick Paws R? You know, so the brown one in the scrapyard,
Yeah.
there's really only one that comes to everyone's mind.
And then they posted that chick driving it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and everyone thinks it's that car, but do they still own it?
That's
What's the guy's name? Oh.
You're not thinking of the dude from Florida with the cranberry colored one, right?
No.
Okay, I
That
was
one.
gonna say, yeah.
No. This is it's like a husband and wife. He's got a really cool Corrado.
It's like a chestnut color.
Yeah, what is his name? I'm drawing a blank of what his name is, and I'll never find it in time.
This guy.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, they have one, and it's eerily almost the exact same color. And like, how many Jetta Coupes are out there
Exactly.
Yeah.
done to that level? So I don't know, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
No, that cranberry one was like my desktop background for
Yeah.
ages. It was like the myth.
Sean.
It was
Corrado
like the,
Sean, because he's got, the cranberry one. That's what I was thinking of. I think it is Corrado Sean when I was thinking of his Corrado's blue.
that's right.
And then she had, or they built together that cranberry colored Mark III Jetta Coupe.
Yeah, but wasn't it brown at one point? Is that his
The
name?
car? Because that car still exists. The cranberry one, as far as I know.
Sean. You know what? This isn't good podcast content, but
Yeah. No, it's fine.
but yeah, that's who exactly.
Kayla, right. Jetta 2NR.
Yes. Sean and Kayla. Okay. Yes, that's exactly who I'm thinking of. But I thought her car was the same color as the color in the scrapyard, but you're saying it's cranberry. I thought it was brown, but I'm also
maybe that car, you know what?
It's very possible they repainted it at some point too.
Right, but I'm pretty
What is his Instagram name?
Yeah, but
Positive.
why would you paint two cars the same color if you got Jetta coupes, like Mark III coupes, I should say, but like because like they're so
Yeah.
like ubiquitous. Why would you paint two in the same color?
Yeah, that's why it was very strange. And I thought it was a brown. I thought it was like a brownish, bronzy, metallic color is what her car was, which is what the color of in the scrapyard was.
Yeah,
But he's saying it was cranberry. So I don't know. It's an ongoing mystery forever. And actually, now that I think about it, the cranberry he's talking about isn't even the one I'm talking about. That was my desktop background on my computer. It was a Mark III like GTI. That was like the shot was shot into a garage and the car was turned sideways in the garage and it wasn't finished at all because it had like tape or like microfibers in the door jambs because it had just got freshly painted and it had the wheels on it and it would just look so good for a car that isn't even anywhere close to being finished. And that was my desktop background. What color is that?
That's that cranberry colored one.
All right, so I'm just colorblind. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, that's right.
I would say that's cranberry. That's
Yeah.
a Merlot.
You know
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Now that I see it, it's definitely cranberry. I thought it was brown.
See,
Yeah.
so and that's his grotto, the blue one,
Are you
and then that
smelling
was
toast
hers.
over there?
What's up?
You smell some toast?
No strokes. Yes, that's exactly who I'm thinking about.
Yeah, that's because that.
So it's definitely not that car. Never mind.
iconic cars, but that's like it reminded me of that at the very least, but I don't know.
I mean, that's like the
Yeah, I don't know.
natural cycle of a car like that, like a show car like that. Like,
Right, because if somebody doesn't buy it and it doesn't trade
what are
hands
you gonna
where
do
somebody's
with
going
it?
to keep
Yeah.
it.
Well, we've talked. Without naming names, I've talked to someone who has a very iconic Volkswagen.
Okay.
It's been an iconic car for a long time. They're still an owner of it, and they're well past the point of it. It can never be sold. The parts can be sold, but the actual body of the vehicle itself would need to just be crushed.
yeah,
Because it's like it can't. You couldn't visualize it going to anyone else. You couldn't ever sell it to someone else. And it's like
there comes a point where you're like, this is just
it's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one else can have it. They can have
Yeah.
the parts, but they can't have the actual body of the vehicle.
it's at some point it's gonna not exist anymore.
Yeah. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like for purposes if this person ever did want to, which I couldn't imagine in a million years, ever get rid of it, like it'd have to be like one day it's like you take not to be super morbid, you take like your pet, you got to put it down. You know, it's like you got to drag it to the scrapyard and be like, I got to see this thing crushed right now.
That's what I think actually happened with that brown car.
Yeah.
It's like you can't sell it because you've got so many memories with it, but
Yeah.
like you just it's done.
No one can have
Yeah.
it. No one can
No
have
one
it.
can have
If I can't have it,
Exactly.
no one can have
And
it.
nobody's gonna like treat it the same way.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna take the care involved with it.
Yeah.
It's going away.
Either that or like,
It's going across the bridge. It's going up north.
I mean, you'd never make money. You'd lose all the money in the world. But if you were to be like, I'll sell it, but I'm going to media blast the entire car.
So just a bear.
It's just a bare metal. It'd be like, listen, you can have it. I'm just going to media
Yeah.
blast the whole car.
It's just gonna be a shell with wheels.
Yeah, that's it.
No
But
brakes. Just
very interesting. I like when stuff like folklore, things like that pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we don't have any more callbacks, I think we can roll right along to B for B real quick. And then we'll get into some, maybe a little bit of news. Maybe
That's
a
that
little
value for value program,
Bit.
right?
Certainly is. It certainly is. You know all about that. What is B for B, you ask? Anybody out there listening? I am going to tell you right now. B for B stands for Bucks for the Boys. What is Bucks for the Boys? That is our value for value system that we use to help keep this train rolling. Not necessarily on the tracks, because we're all over the place.
Just
at times.
rolling.
Keeps it rolling. Whether it's off the track, on the track, in the sea, in the jungle, who cares? We're just going to keep it going. That is our way to help keep the lights on here and keep this studio open and functioning and hopefully help me sleep a little bit better at night. So if you go to our website, revivemotoring.com, there is a B for B subscription button, which you can sign up for multiple different sustainable donations. $2, $5, $10, and $20. And you can even manipulate those. If you wanted to give us $4, you could do that. If you wanted to give us $5, $7, you could do that. So it's there. It helps us out. We do that instead of jamming and shoving 25 different ads to you at the beginning of every episode. Not just on our show, but Loose is Fast, Topics Under the Stairs, Talking Motorcycles. When those shows record, they also don't have advertisements at the beginning of every episode like some others do. We're never going to go behind a paywall. We always want to bring you our voices direct to your ears as quickly and efficiently as we can. So with doing so, B4B was created. We use that every week to get a judgment of last week's episode, and it's called the BPL, Bucks Per Listen. Actually, no. You know what? I'm going ahead of myself. If you're an active member of the B4B system, you will receive some things in the mail from us from time to time. Matter of fact, yesterday I just started making a postcard because I want to get a postcard out in the next couple of weeks with a code for people to use for ISC suspension. We have that code, so I want to send that to everybody. It is code Revival, by the way. If you're listening, you can use that. But I want to send that out to people and make a bit of a postcard for, I don't want to call it collectible, but a nice keepsake that you receive in the mail. Matter of fact, with a photo of a vehicle that our friend Raph has shot. So we also put you into a box, dare I say, and draw your name on our show once a month to win a box or a package of different things that we'll send you in the mail if you're an active B4B subscriber, because we truly appreciate it and we want to bring you something other than what we do audibly and visually every single week. With that said, we do have a BPL, which is Bucks Per Listen, which we use that to judge last week's episode. And I believe Corey has a BPL number for us this week.
Boy, do I ever.
Oh, boy.
We're coming in with a hot and heavy 19 cents per listen. 19 cents.
Ooh.
We're up from last week.
That's quite
We're doing good. I think we're on the right path.
I'm really sorry for what you're going to get next week.
This has been good so far. I'm actually enjoying myself.
Did I say peaking?
Peaking, yeah. However, if money isn't your thing, and maybe it's short, maybe you don't want to overdraft your account like Jordan does for us.
That's true. That's true.
There are other things you can do.
Hell, Matt is here because
here.
he started to get involved with the show anyway and give responses in the chat, responses via DM, send us different stuff. Obviously, he's a wealth of knowledge, more knowledge than the four of us combined altogether.
Let's not go that far.
Buddy.
I don't know. Listen,
You'd be spitting facts in the first 5 minutes of this episode.
I have a wealth of useless knowledge.
It's useful here.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're like Einstein here. Yeah. So that, it's simple. You can send us different things like that via
Absolutely.
the DMs.
Look at that. You can, send us information via the DMs, some hot tips, some news. You can force people to listen on a different device with a different IP address when they download it, preferably. That would be super helpful. You can also leave us reviews. We do have a new review. I'm going to go ahead and read it for you here.
Ooh.
Now, this review is titled 4 stars, but they left us 5.
Like that.
Yeah, I got a little nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. It popped up. I got a little nervous. It comes from 32 Coop, and it reads, short and sweet. I just finished listening to all the episodes. I like the part about the kid with the cake in this truck.
Young Ben.
5 stars. So
that's perfect. Short and sweet, to the point.
You don't have money? No problem. Jump on iTunes, leave us a 5-star review, tell everyone how much you like listening to us, make someone else listen to us, share our stuff on the old Instagrams and Facebook and all that stuff there. Yeah. Or, hey, buy some coffee. We got some coffee right here. What do we got? That's Clutch Kick. Get the old...
We get all 4 flavors
Oh,
up
that's
there.
right. Yeah, we do right there. So,
which we're running pretty low on that. I might actually have to remove those from the table by the end of this week.
oh, really?
I think so.
Well, hey.
Yeah, we're getting...
Well,
Bring
hey.
us some homes.
Thanks, everyone, for your support. If we have to remove these as displays, that means we're selling them.
Yeah, and we might have some new label designs coming up pretty soon, I hope.
Okay, I'd be into that.
So my thing is, if he only wanted to give it 4 stars, I think we need to persuade him a bit to give us 5 stars.
He did leave 5.
He did?
Mhm.
But
He titled it 4.
He titled it
yeah.
4.
He still needs some persuasion.
Left 5.
He's a little bit of persuasion from the boys.
Yeah, I think actually, where is he? He hasn't responded yet. He is in the chat. So,
I know some guys that can go over there and persuade them a little.
Yeah, I think we should. So reviews, comments, sharing. You know what would be cool? If every single person who listens to the episode liked, commented, and subscribed on YouTube, we'd have big numbies.
Yep.
You would.
It's still going up. I like
It
it.
is.
I look at the YouTube and it's slowly doing its thing.
We're on a steady climb.
Just
I wouldn't mind a spike.
it's a slow build.
Yeah.
Just ask my wife. It's a slow build.
It's a slow build
It's like a train, you know.
It's a slow build to we don't know where, but it's a slow build.
It's like
yeah.
a train, though. You know, it takes a little while to get going, but once it gets going,
We're the fucking Polar Express.
Yeah.
We're
just without that creepy kid.
right. yeah.
Yeah, Carman Cam. Yeah, the Young Bear era was a ride.
It was
You're not
something.
gonna lie to you,
I mean, because that was
I
like
almost didn't like being here for it.
that was quite the mix. I
So-
mean, basically, thanks to COVID, we just kept Young Men home. That's really what brought it
Yeah,
to
I
an
wasn't
end.
around for that, but I was told to listen. From my
Young
housemate.
Ben, he's just a great kid.
I've heard the stories.
That overall just really wasn't that into doing the show, and I don't blame him. Whatever.
Yeah.
Kids of his age really, as we found,
Yeah.
aren't big podcast people. But God, he brought some content.
I
And
just,
it was
Naturally,
just-
he didn't even try.
Yeah.
I just can't understand how you crash so close to your house that like your mom can come out and like, what the fuck you?
Dude, it's just like, and the thing is like, it's funny for us because we've all seen where he lives and where he crashed, and no one else can. But like, oh God,
I mean, at least listen. He was doing the right thing by giving the homeless guy the cake.
it turns out the kid wasn't homeless.
Yeah.
he lived just in a basement. But apparently,
Yeah.
if you live in a basement, you're homeless.
Considered homeless. Well, I was considered homeless when I was living at home. then.
Same.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, shout out to Young Ben. You gave some quality content for a little while.
I wonder how many jobs he's working now.
Isn't
Life,
he, like,
life
fucking-
do be hitting different
isn't he,
lately.
like, in Vegas or some shit like that?
We don't know. Not really sure.
It could be in Miami slinging yachts.
I think
He's just following.
life is a movie, buddy.
Yeah.
Life
is a
do be
movie.
like a movie.
Yeah.
Life do be like
It's
a
the
movie.
last we knew.
It's God's plan.
That's exactly what it
Yeah.
is. All right, so we did the B for B. We did our review. We covered the BPL. Let's hit these boys. Big shout to the live band in house that plays that song every week. They've been here forever.
Yeah,
Still haven't taken a
Since the
paycheck.
jump.
I can't
Since the
believe
jump.
that you guys got the London Symphonic Orchestra.
We're gonna bring in the Trans-Siberian for Christmas.
yeah.
Really change things up. Let's get into some news. Actually,
I'm sorry, we're still on the Young Ben thing. Nick Plazar, one of the best Young Ben things was that he was working two jobs at the same place as two different people and not getting paid overtime. And he was proud of it.
it was. The
And
best.
you know what? Here's why I'm proud of him for that. Because he was proud of working hard. Not smart.
Right, it didn't matter.
Not smart, but he was proud of working hard.
It
And I
didn't matter.
respected that.
He was being taken advantage of.
Yes.
Illegally, I might add. It just, he went
so,
with it.
So on the books, was he one employee working like 21 hours and another one working like 22
Oh, no,
hours?
he was one employee working 40, one employee working 40. At the same place.
You just fuck yourself there.
That's, yeah.
Hey, but you know what? Dude, he was so proud to tell us how much he was doing. We definitely explained it to him. I don't know if he ever really got around to getting it, but good for him. He's a hard work.
I feel like inside that man's head is like a Pong game. It's just
Yeah. I don't know. I do wonder what he's up to. We did have an update at one point. It really didn't go well.
Yeah, he came in and it was very,
It was a good reminder.
yeah, it was just like, all right, this is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he's doing well overall.
I do.
Regardless.
Genuinely, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I got something here.
Please.
Hyundai and Kia recall nearly 3.4 million vehicles due to a fire risk.
that's just a day that ends in Y.
Yeah. So Hyundai and Kia recalling 3.4 million vehicles in the U.S. and telling owners to park them outside due to risk of engine compartment fires. So what is happening, you may ask? The anti-lock brake control module is leaking fluid, causing an electrical short, which can touch off a fire. This is how they wrote it. Anyway, it can cause a fire while the vehicles are parked or being driven.
Covers all bases.
So it's
So
just, if it exists, it's a fire risk.
Wouldn't if that happens as you're driving, wouldn't the wind just kind of stoke the fire?
Oh yeah.
It would just enhance.
So the safest thing to do is not drive it and park it outside.
Just park it in the middle of some fucking parking
Field.
lot.
Yeah.
No, field. It gets a field on
That's
fire.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw Whistling Diesel.
Yeah, that's right.
It seems like the cars and SUVs range from 2010 to 2019, so a real healthy chunk of years.
Yeah, bit of a just about a decade. Just about a decade. away.
Including the Santa Fe, which I mean, I probably see 300 over the course of a day, and a Kia Sorento. Anyway. Oh, and also advising to park outdoors away from all structures. So where are you supposed to put
In
this
the middle
thing?
of a parking lot, like a commuter lot.
Yeah. That's next
Just
to other
leave it
vehicles.
there.
Yeah.
Just park all of them there.
Steel beams melt,
They do.
Yeah.
so you don't want to put it in that
No.
parking lot either.
So let's see.
Ocean. You want to put it in the ocean.
in the
Park
ocean.
it in the Long
Just
Island
park it in the
Sound.
ocean.
Go with your car batteries right there.
So the company says that an O-ring in the anti-lock brake motor can lose sealing strength over time due to the presence of moisture, dirt, and dissolved materials. Brake fluid leaks. This will go ahead and leak onto some electrical components, and those are going to not be happy about it.
Listen, I mean,
I
it's.
didn't know brake fluid.
Was that combustible?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I know it was corrosive. Like,
Well,
would
my
eat
thing
away
is,
at paint.
If it doesn't like moisture, like that's what an O-ring is for. To
Yeah.
stop moisture escaping the area. So it's
Yeah.
getting moist. So it's just existing and will catch on fire.
So here's what's interesting to me: the dealers are going to replace the anti-lock brake fuse.
So
What
no
about the
mechanical-
leaking component?
What?
Oh, those ABS blocks.
Yeah,
are
so
really
it's always going to
expensive.
leak. They're just going to put like a moisture sealed fuse.
Yeah,
It's got to be a lower amperage fuse. So when it detects something, it goes, nope. we're
Yeah.
done.
Right. It's just going to die.
Kia says in
instead of-
documents that it will send notification letters to owners starting November 14th. So a solid month and a half from when I'm telling you this right now.
Not that much of a priority, but let's
Yeah.
get those notifications out there before Christmas.
Hyundai reported 21 fires in the affected vehicles in the U.S., and Kia reported 10 fires and melting incidents. So not only just fires, but
A
melting
melting incident.
melting incidents.
Aside, it's
I
not-
mean, this is going not well.
no, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, this is going not well.
Car manufacturing as a whole for the last 2 decades.
Planned obsolescence, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. You're 100% right. How can we make this as cheap as possible without long-term?
Yeah. So they have to buy another one.
Right. And we'll just live with the failure rate.
Yeah.
Sort of like our medical industry or pills in general.
Listen, we're not going to get into that part. But like I said, it's basically once the warranty's out, well, it doesn't matter at this point. Let's try and get them in another car.
Right. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Sell, sell, sell.
It's like, think about like a freezer from like the 60s.
That's yeah.
Or a
yeah.
fridge. Still
Right, because
cooking.
still rolling. Whereas,
A 2017 one's like making all noise. And you got to
I've replaced I don't know how many TVs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I thankfully I got a Black Friday special one like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Still cooking.
thankfully.
43-inch 4K
Yeah.
Samsung. Mint. I enjoy that.
Give it time.
Oh, I know.
Let's see what else. There's a good one here. The Toyota. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring this up on our
Toyota.
screen.
Which Toyota?
One of the good ones.
That's a lot of them, in my opinion. Ooh. Ah.
The Yaris is going to be getting a bit of a update. 2024 Toyota GR Yaris to have 300 horsepower and 8-speed automatic report. Also said to have a minor facelift.
What kind of automatic is this going to be? Is it like a slush box that unit everybody's using? Or is it going to be a dual clutch?
Let's see all the good Yaris. That says CVT, but I don't think that is the Japanese room GR still be down in torque. I don't think this lists what trans
I would hope it'd be a
is.
DCT.
No, torque
Oh,
converter.
no. Gross.
What one is it?
It's a regular slush box automatic.
Ooh.
The report states it'll come with paddle shifters and a new quote-unquote lockup system, so it'll be a torque converter automatic. That's lame.
What do we got here?
GR Yaris.
Updates to the GR Yaris 2024.
They're going to sell it with a slush box.
Hey.
Yeah.
Did they say why?
I'm guessing it's just so they can move more.
Okay.
People that don't want to take the time to learn how to drive a 6-speed.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I like that. Revised model will go through a nip and tuck. The old nip and tuck.
Oh,
Did you ever
yeah.
watch that show?
No.
I
Nip
heard
and
that
Tuck?
show
What
was
show?
wild.
Nip Tuck
No.
on FX.
What is it about?
Whew, what a ride. What a ride.
Young men?
No, what was it about? It was about two very high-end plastic surgeons in Miami or LA.
I think it was, or Vegas or something like that.
Okay, we never really
All
found
of the
out.
above, yeah.
Yeah,
One of those cities.
and it was just, full-on FX drama.
Oh.
There was a masked man at one point who was killing people. Things got real wild.
Oh, so it wasn't real life.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
At
maybe
least
it was
the one-
someone's real life.
At least the
Yeah.
one we know. Yeah.
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 Let's see.
Quote unquote based on a true story.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is an interesting one. I'm not quite sure what to make of it. I haven't really had time to digest it yet. But during a recent discussion at the i5 launch, BMW M CEO Frank Van Meel said that normal M cars are going to be phased out and M competition cars will become the new normal. So doesn't that make M competition just a basic M car now?
Yeah. What's the comp? Like, what?
It kind of sounds like he's saying the regular M cars are junk.
So, where is it here?
Or just, yeah, like
Yeah, they're inferior.
So, perhaps.
we've been selling you not the best product in this form, so we're just going to get rid of that
Listen,
product.
all those M comp cars are awesome though.
Yeah.
They're sweet.
So, this says, perhaps, this is me speaking, but this is what is written here. Some may think that standard M cars have long been too soft, lacking the edge of the brand that was always known for. So it's good that entry-level M cars will be sportier right out of the box.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old curmudgeon, but I feel like the M brand as a local has kind of lost its way a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, when you start using it as like a trim package,
Mm-hmm.
especially like M Sport stuff or like an M235i, which granted was a great car.
Yeah.
Like that itself is watering down the mark in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, watering down the brand, yeah.
Yeah. Like why are you offering this lesser version of it instead of it just being
Yeah.
a hardcore whatever you want it to do? Because I don't really consider the XM as a sports car.
Yeah, and it is now. It's like because I saw before when I would look at the lineup, like for example, the M235 was a perfect example.
Great car.
Great, really good car. So you had the 2 Series,
Mhm.
then you had the M235, and then you had the M Coupe. Not the M Coupe. Gee, I wish the M Coupe. The M2, and then a revised version of the M2, and then they had an M2.
Was it a comp?
Maybe.
They call it something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had these. It's ladder.
Yeah.
You could kind of work your way up. Like, hey, where I really want a 2 Series. Where do I fall on this ladder to buy? So it's like they're kind of just cutting out the M2 portion
Yeah.
and being like, hey, you can buy like the base model car with like the M stuff, or you can buy like the raw version of it. But even then, it's like the raw version of it that they're putting out. Granted, I have only driven an M2 comp, not an M3 or an M4 or any of that other stuff. Seems kind of like it's lost its way a little bit. Like it's lost its like identity with what the original M cars were.
I feel like that's a product of just the industry in general these days, because these cars are so heavy, and there's not much you can really do about that anymore because of safety and all
yeah.
that stuff. Aside from Mazda with the Miata weighing nothing still, but
Yeah.
it
But even in comparison to new one versus old one,
it's not that much. There's only a couple 100 pounds between them. And
Oh, really?
They're the same size. Like an ND is almost the same size as an NA.
interesting.
I think the problem with the BMW ones actually is the fact that they're a quote unquote luxury brand now. Is they want to pack these M models with all this luxury stuff that people want.
Okay. Good.
That's
That's
right,
what I wanted
that's
to bring
first-
up, because
first
it's almost
priority.
like if I'm buying, for me, obviously I talk about this a lot, and I kind of harp on it a lot of times when Shook brings up things, because I'm like, we're talking from such a niche small like minutia of people. And I'm going to right now. I'm almost expecting if I'm buying the M competition version of something, I want like no screen,
No radio.
manual seats. No, I'd be happy with a radio, but I don't need a full digital dash.
Yeah. Oh no, not at all.
You know, like clearly just give me a Bluetooth module in there somewhere that I can click my phone to.
Thinner
Like,
windows. stuff
yeah,
like that, yeah.
you know, so, like simple things. I'm looking for that raw, quote unquote, competition experience, not a full blown like 7 Series luxury car
Exactly.
with that.
The problem that is, and you see this just with pretty much every brand, is when you get a lot of people that just have a shit ton of money and they go, I just want the most expensive one.
Yeah, I get it.
So
Yeah.
and when you go, I want the most expensive one, they don't want a hardcore car, but that's what
Yeah,
the most expensive
that's
one
what the most
is.
expensive one is. Yeah,
Look how many, right. That's a great example. Because look how many times you hear somebody goes and buys whatever the craziest one is. They're like, oh, this is way too harsh.
Yeah.
Like you hear that complaint often when it
what's
comes to
supposed
those
to be.
brands.
there was the Chuck had the X3M, and then there was the thing about the X3M comp where it was almost undrivable because it was just so harsh, rigid driving, not poor handling, but like not good for everyday use.
Yeah, no, especially with these roads around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Route 6 is a nightmare.
Oh, I'll drive around the state before going that
Bro,
way.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It was that bad. Because usually when I come here, it's like 95 to just 95 all the way up.
Yeah.
I was coming a different way
Mhm.
and from the north, and it sent me down Route 6.
Oh, boy.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
It's like a monster jam in there.
yeah, it gets rowdy out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. BMW's going through some changes.
I don't like them.
Yeah, they're
I
going through
don't-
some changes.
Yeah, I don't either
I mean,
at all.
We talked about actually a few weeks back, like this podcast as a whole unit goes through these ebbs and flows of like what we get hyped about and then we're sour about and hyped about and sour about. And there was a time we were really hyped, like the BMW train was a hype for us, and now it's just like more of like a lull.
I would
Yeah, a
agree.
lull.
What did I want to say?
I think like their product overall. I mean, they make great vehicles. Let's not
Quality is very well.
Right,
Yeah.
their new stuff doesn't have that
doesn't
same
speak
spark.
to me. But it must speak to somebody because they're selling fucking boatloads of them.
Well, it's-
Units.
We are the BMW that exists now is not the BMW that we used to know, and that's the entire. I don't want to say point, but like the higher ups there have done that intentionally.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's now more of an everything car with these hot versions too, but you also they want to be like a weird tech company involved with it, and they don't really cater to actual car enthusiasts like most brands now. They're trying to cater more towards like tech enthusiasts and just the brand name overall versus what it actually can do.
yeah. It's like, so just reading just this tagline right here, not digging too deep into it, but new production record during 2021, BMW produced 433,810 BMW X vehicles.
Yeah.
So that's just their X
Yeah.
line. So it's a 20% increase over the year prior.
It's insane.
So 20%. That's a lot. It's like 80,000
Yeah,
vehicles.
80,000 cars.
That's a lot
yeah.
of fucking
That's
cars.
wild.
Yeah, and that's just their X line. That doesn't get into any of the cars.
I guarantee you'll see that the car lines have gone down.
Yeah, that's unfortunate,
Yeah,
but it's true.
That's
Hate to see it, but yeah, it's
way-
definitely true.
the way I see it. Like I'm not some CUVs I like, but if you look at a car from the 30s, like a regular 4-door sedan,
Yeah.
or they were like 5 doors. We've just gone back to what cars used to be.
Right.
Before they went low and wide in the 40s, they were
Yeah.
basically crossovers.
Yeah, they
all
were.
looked-
They were
yeah.
just big, like
Yeah.
haunches of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sedans.
Oh,
Yeah.
Upright.
And had different symbols or different design elements on the front.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, and they
that
were
deciphered.
high off the ground, a lot of room for stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Room for the whole family.
Yeah.
All your shit, kind of go wherever you want. Carman Cam, yeah. He says, you mean like people buying GT3 saying it's too hard and the brakes squeal too much?
We get customers like that at work. So
Yeah, I
for
was going to say
RS
you
stuff?
must.
no, we're a combination Audi and Porsche dealership.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So we do have GT3 customers and are like that. Like, why do the brakes squeal so much?
Yeah.
Also, the rotors are $12,500 a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't. I mean, granted, when you're buying a car like that, they don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, we've had people that are like, is there a way to get rid of that? And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Like, buddy, you shouldn't have bought this.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? You could just buy like a 911 Turbo.
Yeah. Or, I mean, just even a 911T.
Yeah,
Anything.
yeah.
You didn't have to get this one.
Yeah, you didn't have to be like, what's the most expensive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that entire market is wild because you can't buy certain cars without buying certain other cars or owning certain other cars. And it gets to the point where, like, these people don't drive these cars. They just collect them and blast around in them for 5-10 miles and store them because they have that much money.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go with it, but
It's a whole different world.
yeah.
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
just a different world.
Yeah.
Just like this BMW new M competition world is just a whole different world.
Hey, I like those M competition cars, though.
So, okay, so that leads me to the next thing. Is now the M competition going to be that middleman, and are they going to bring back more? We'll see
even
more of
more
the CS or CSL versions.
I doubt it. I think the M competition will just be the height of it.
You don't think they'll get any more like hardcore? This paves the way for them to kind of make a.
If they do, it'll be towards the end of life of a car,
Mhm.
and they'll make 500 of them and charge $600,000 for
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, those very special.
Boatloads, yeah.
They'd be very cool and they'd be very fast and very good on track, but nobody that'll buy them is going to do that.
The amount of cars and SUVs that wear
The M moniker.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
the M currently is wild.
I saw on the way here, it was like an X3, not an X3 like M. It was like one of the like M235i version of the X3, and it was like M40i X. I'm like, what the fuck
There's a
is
lot
this? I was
going
like,
on
what
back
the
there.
fuck
There's
is
a
this?
whole alphabet.
They
yeah.
consider those on their website the athletes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who else is up there with the
What-
athletes?
Okay, but like what kind of athlete? Like Joey Chestnut or like an Usain Bolt?
Ooh.
Both masters of their domain.
Of
you
their
heard what Joey
craft.
Chestnut says. He doesn't stop till he finishes his job.
That's right.
It's a real American hero right
They
there.
have it broken down to the athletes, as I mentioned, the powerhouses, and the pioneers.
It's like a bunch of fucking blowhards.
What's a powerhouse? Is that like I'm on the I'm going to drive the BMW now?
Yeah.
I'm
So-
the powerhouse.
Those are going to be your M2, M3, M3 Comp, M3 Comp X Drive, M4, M4 Comp, M4 Comp X Drive convertible, blah, 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 M4, M4, M8,
Why do
M8, M8, X3M, X4M, X5M,
That's
X6M.
too many?
And the pioneers are the electric guys.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Skip those altogether. Then the athletes are the M240i, M235i, M340i, M340iX, M440, M440i, M440i Grand Coupe, M440i X Drive Grand Coupe.
So the
Then the-
athletes are the middle ones. Then.
Yes.
Okay.
The names of some of these are almost as long as the photo of the car.
Ridiculous.
It's insane. Here's one. X4 M40i Sports Activity Coupe.
Fuck that. X Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, you ever seen those Chinese market cars? Because like in China, you have to have like the name of the car in the back on Chinese as well.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a thing. Because they're usually not straight one manufacturer. It'll be like GM with SAIC or something like that. So it has to have like Chinese characters on the back. That's just going to be a badge across the whole back of the car.
Hmm.
Right.
It's going to be
At
packed
some
up
point,
all
it's just
the
going
way
to be
across.
broken up
Yeah.
into, it's like a
Well,
paragraph.
now they're down there are multiple lines. So now you've got your badge, and then you've got the competition. So now we're just gonna get a third line, and it's just gonna be
gonna be
like
a list.
Yeah, it's gonna be the beginning of Star Wars when it's reading the story away from you.
The scroll. The
yeah,
scroll is just going to.
The whole tail panel of the car is just going to be an LED
A
screen.
long
Yeah.
time ago in a galaxy far, far away when people gave a
called it
fuck about
Bavaria.
M cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have ITBs and
Could you
Yeah.
imagine the
4
team that built
cylinders.
the M1, the original M1, seeing what that brand has become?
yeah, I don't know, but at the time, the people building the original M1 were building something so futuristic.
Yeah,
looking.
but like, or even like the first M3, like,
yeah,
because these guys
Yeah.
are either probably still alive, it could be like
Yeah.
in older age, but like all the work that they did to make those M cars real special and handle on a track and go and
Yeah.
sound amazing, and now they're just
and have heritage.
yeah, and
Yeah.
now it's just like this.
Yeah.
How do you make an electric M car? Because you know it's going to come.
Right, because it's
This
the
is like the definition of the grandfather who's like, I didn't fight in World War II for this.
right. I was just gonna say
For you to
like,
be doing your TikToks.
the leaders in that meeting, let's call it, are the marketing people.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
You know, they're speaking the loudest.
There's 2 leaders. There's marketing and finance.
Yeah.
Right. And then
And then engineers aren't even 2
engineering
or
art-
3. They're
it's-
like 5.
Yeah.
It's like that meme
Here,
where
make
like,
this work.
Yeah, it's like that meme where they have like the board meeting and the one guy says something that makes complete sense and they throw him out of the window.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like almost
Just
they get
reminds me of Pee Wee Herman when he's gonna get beat up by the bikers. I say we kill him. I say we let him go. That's all I picture. That guy, one
God.
engineer in there.
I like ZHP 192. Are there any true modern driver's cars like there used to be? Yes, they're the BRZ, the GR86, the Miata, and that's kind of about it.
if you don't want something new, not to toot my own horn,
Yeah.
buy a 1 Series.
Yeah, no, the 1 Series is a phenomenal car.
I took riding Corey's today. All about it. Be fun car.
And is yours the twin turbo?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, mine is a modern day 30.
Oh,
It's a 3-liter, 6-cylinder, rear-wheel
Naturally
drive,
aspirated?
6-speed, no iDrive,
Nice.
cold weather package. That's it.
Is it naturally aspirated?
Yep.
Throw
Yep.
some ITBs on that.
No, it's just
Gee, how
it's
good
a
does it sound?
Sulev car, so it's
Okay.
got a 3-stage intake manifold. So I could technically tune it and get, I don't want to say a bunch, but a
Yeah.
little more horsepower. But it's a modern day 30.
That's awesome.
I've talked about it on here. I'm at 127,000 miles on that car. I bought it with 34, so I'm 7,000 miles away from putting 100,000
awesome.
miles on it myself.
That's awesome.
It'll be 10 years of ownership in 5 months.
Very cool.
Yeah, I
It
can't
looks great. still,
picture
too.
not owning that vehicle.
I said that's the one that you're gonna go and you're gonna have to crush it.
Yeah, but it's not like I didn't paint it a color
Yeah.
that's special to me or anything like that. Like it's really just it's something that I've just
And you
have
just
driven
honed
and
it
driven.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like it's been a really good quality, solid driver car, terrible gas mileage. But
All the miles of smiles though.
yeah, great driver's car. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Are you gonna do anything else to it?
I want to fiddle with the shifter
Mhm.
because like
Just get a CAE.
no. The shifter there's a little bit of like wiggle in it.
Mhm.
Which I mean again it's
Bushings are just going.
yeah.
after all these
So
years, yeah.
I would really like to find BMW made a like BMW performance shifter
Yep.
for that car, which you can still find. They're hard to find. I'd like to find that. That'd be cool.
Are the bushings a little bit stiffer?
It's all like linkage.
Oh, nice.
So it's all solid.
Oh, very cool.
I'd like to do E90 M3 trans mounts in it.
I like those cars a lot.
These fucking dudes in the chat.
I think
hey,
it's better with the typo too.
yeah, carbon
Yes.
cam. Yeah, the serpentine belt situation. We figured that out. That's already once been fixed. So I know what to look for now. Yeah, no, probably not. I mean, I've gotten, I've had the SolarWorks coilovers on it for, I don't know,
3 years.
2-3 years at this point.
Yeah.
And they've been great. I've probably put 30,000 miles on them. They've been really, really good. But I do think if I would ever buy something else and then have that as just like a fun car, I'd probably upgrade suspension to something a little more,
More hardcore.
yeah, a little more
Yeah.
aggressive. The SolarWorks are fantastic, like everyday uses. I mean, like I said, Josh and I just drove over some gnarly bridge through Providence, and it's great for everyday use. I'm really happy with the wheel choice on it. I'm really happy with the wheels and the tire size. I went with OEM BMW 135i wheels size and tires, so it was just
Yeah,
stock
yeah.
essentially. Yeah, no, nothing really else. I think I really wanted to do the like 135 headlights, which have the projector housing,
Yeah.
but then you've got to get into like reprogramming like the CAN bus stuff, and that's like it's not even a pay grade above me. It's like a lifetime above me.
Like I used to work for Mini, and we'd get customers with the newer cars like, "Can I add this in there?" And it's like how much would it cost to add this in there? Like $10,000
Yeah.
because you have to do everything.
Yeah. So I think my substitution for LED bulbs, and then maybe find just maybe a better set of halogen headlights and put those on.
Are yours a little like foggy?
They're oxidized.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I got 127,000 miles on them.
Yeah.
And the thing is like you can polish them, right? But then like they're gonna rapidly digress
Deteriorate, yeah.
again, and then
So-
you're back to it again.
I mean, I did it with mine. So I bought a set of headlights for my Golf
Mhm.
off of Sam Dywert. They're the ones he had in his car forever.
Mhm.
And when I got them, they were oxidized.
It's the first time I've ever heard someone call him by his name and not Sammy Theme
sorry.
Parts.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
When I got the headlights, I brought them to a body shop and had them polish them and then clear them so that they're fine now. 2 years later, they still haven't really.
Yeah, so I think if I found, because I'm a big, like, I don't want to have any downtime, so I'd rather buy another used set,
I get it.
do something like you did, and then one day swap them out,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yep.
And then
That's
put
what
the
I
other
would
ones
do
in a
then.
box, call it a day.
Yep.
Like other like little things, like, you know, the M Sport front bumper is really cool, but like, do I want to spend money on buying a bumper and having it painted and blending and all this stuff? No.
That's what I'm doing with my car.
Yeah, but like, it's cool for sure, but no,
Yeah.
not really. No, I think it's just keeping it moving, keeping it driving would be like,
Best thing to do for it.
yeah, what I want to do with it.
Matt,
What?
why do you think Jock Jams is the best compilation series to ever exist?
Because it's
I'd
sick.
agree.
It's sick.
I'd agree. Which one did I have? Hold on.
It's sick.
Dude, I had. Oh, listen, this is a core memory. Everyone's got core memories, right? Everyone knows what a core
Oh yeah,
memory
for
is.
sure.
I have a core memory.
Some might
of,
call them nightmares.
Core nightmare.
Core nightmares.
I have a core memory of listening to a Jock Jam CD on a CD player,
Mhm.
but the CD player had to be plugged in. So it was like,
Wow, you couldn't even use it via battery.
no.
Oh. That's the early days of
That
CD
is, that
players.
Yeah. So it was technically portable, and you could take it anywhere you
just
wanted,
had to have a
but you had
plug.
to have an outlet. This is it. It's
Yeah.
Jock Jams Volume 1. Yeah, let's get ready to rumble.
They're all sick.
yeah.
Like,
This, dude,
It's the-
1995.
Yeah.
I was 6.
yeah,
What
I
is
was-
your
This
favorite?
killed it.
What is your favorite one? Do you have a
You
favorite
can't
one?
have a favorite one.
Okay.
They're all sick. Like, they're all just a time capsule of the era.
Dude, listen, I was 6 listening to Hip Hop Parade by Naughty by Nature.
Yeah.
It was the best.
Yeah. It's just like the ultimate 90s vibe.
Dude, YMCA
I
on
mean,
here.
dude, there's so many.
So listen, YMCA, that song. Yeah, I know it's like bad raps for it. There's this radio show I used to listen to. Yeah, I know that makes me sound really old, but it was on KLOS in LA.
Yep.
Where they brought this dude Christian Handon, and he would like strip apart all the songs, so you'd hear every individual track
Dude.
by itself.
Yeah.
Off side segment. Tom Segura brought on a dude on his show that does that,
It probably was the same guy.
who has a whole show
Yeah,
about doing so, and he travels and does.
yeah, it's definitely Christian Hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because and he just like, oh yeah, today we'll do the Beastie Boys.
Yeah,
And he broke down, what songs was it? I can't even
Could be
remember what
any of them,
songs.
but they're all wild.
And it was just like, holy
So
fuck.
when he did YMCA, if you play like the vocals by themselves,
Mhm.
you realize the set of pipes this dude has.
Yep.
It's insane. And like,
Really?
Are we
yeah.
talking like Steve Perry pipes?
It's a different style, and
Yep.
he gets to the point that he's putting so much effort into doing the song. Towards the end, you could hear his voice starting to like falter.
Strain, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. There's a shit ton of violins in that song too that you'd never really notice because it's a disco song.
Right.
Dude, I didn't know Village People back to back, Jock Jams 1, Jock Jams 2.
Hell yeah, hell yeah!
So, I mean, Jock Jams Volume 1.
It rips.
It's 1995. You're getting some heavy,
That's some
heavy
good driving
hitters.
music.
Oh, yeah.
Think about that.
Tag Team, Whoop, there it is.
2 Unlimiteds. Get ready for this.
Tootsie Roll.
Get ready. Get ready for this.
Let's
sick.
see. Pump Up the Jam.
They're just all like there's.
It's a good driving
there's
track.
like Quad City DJs on
CNC
there.
Music Factory.
Gonna make you sweat.
Yeah. That's like,
I feel like that's a.
I'm going to go
Chuck
tear up some back roads. Let me throw on Jock Jam
Yeah.
Volume 1.
Yeah, but the problem is you're gonna do that and you're gonna end up in the hedges.
So the Volume 2, for whatever reason, peaked the highest in the United States of America at number 10.
That's not.
Peaked at 10.
I
Yeah,
feel that,
1
though,
didn't make it very far.
because one was too early for its time.
So now by 2,
It's become established.
it's got Dan Patrick and Chris Berman on the welcome message.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if anybody's familiar with Chris Berman, but he was the back, and it's gone on ESPN for the longest time ever. Also kind of a dick, if I recall.
Not surprising.
But let's see. We got to love that. There's, although, all right, Montel Jordan.
This is how we do
Yeah.
it. That's like
Uh,
terrible singing.
I would have to, I'm going to lean towards They closed it out with Village People once again. Macho Man.
Back-to-back world champs, the Village People.
Like, I would lean towards Volume 1.
Volume 1, you had to come out with a bang.
Yeah.
They came out swinging,
Oh, yeah.
haymakers
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole way.
Just going yard.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
exactly what
It's crazy because, like, 5 volumes, they had a good run.
they really did. Why don't we have jock jams now? Is it because
everybody
music
likes
sucks now?
Shitty mumble rap.
That I was going to say, like, music just died.
Yeah, I don't want to go to
Because
a hockey game and listen to fucking Drake.
Every single one of the ones on there is like hype music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist anymore.
It's all like, I'm going to get
Jock
amped
Jams
music.
Volume 4, first song, Yeah Baby by Austin Powers.
Yeah. It's a microcosm of the 90s.
Oh, but
Yeah.
then you have Notorious B.I.G. on there.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
how can you argue with that? Will Smith getting jiggy
that
before
song's great.
before he was slapping people.
Listen, it's an earlier time.
We've all done it.
He doesn't swear in his music. That was his
Yeah.
thing, but he'll smack the shit out you.
Oh my God, they're so jump around.
They're sick.
Yeah. I also had no idea ESPN had anything to do with them.
Chumbawamba thumb thumping.
Fun fact about that. That was the
Tub thumping.
Tub Thumper, which was the album that Tub Thumping was on, was the first CD that I ever got as a kid for Christmas in like 1997, and a CD player
My mom,
Yeah.
with the
because
baby on the front. with the
I think
big
I had
smile.
that. I think I had that CD as
Yeah.
well. Because my mom like signed up for one of those dollar CD
Oh
clubs.
man,
And then, like, every now and again, she'd just be like, pick some CDs. So I just run right down there. Wild, the music I had.
oh I believe it.
Yeah.
Carman Camp says someone get Garrett to spin these at Lock City. Dude,
I agree.
if you get these spinning at Lock City, we're going to see some wild stuff.
You're gonna
It's
see
going
wild
down.
stuff, and there's gonna be babies made.
Yeah.
Like
It's going to be like Woodstock.
yeah,
all
it's
over again.
Woodstock, but 69, not 99.
Yeah.
Jump Around, House of Pain. I love that song. Chuck hates that song so much. dude. He hates that song. So I love, dude, Jump Around comes out, I'm going to lose my mind. He hates that song.
How can you hate that song?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, just the beats alone.
You just jump up,
Are
jump
like-
up, and get
yeah,
down.
They're
like-
like the
the-
over record
Yeah.
scratch.
yeah,
Just.
And I remember from Mrs. Doubtfire. It was in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Jock Jams, listen. Hey, it was a hot take. It was a good one.
Yeah,
it was a good take.
it's phenomenal.
It's so good.
Kids these days don't know about that.
No, they certainly do not.
There's no Olivia Rodrigo on there.
No, I mean, and they like, that feeling, that sports feeling
Oh, yeah.
of like, and assigning a song.
Here's the thing too, like it didn't have to be pro sports too. It could have been like T-ball,
Right.
and you put that stuff
Little
on.
Giants. If you played the right song in Little Giants and they're running the fucking annexation of Puerto Rico, it'll get you going.
Yeah.
You also, at one point, wrote a time attack class for SUVs/crossovers would be fantastic.
Hell yeah! Like not Suzuki Jimneys. They do that in Japan, and it's kind of wild.
Yeah.
It's scary. But I'm like SQ5s and Macans and stuff like that.
Hmm. And there's nothing out there that they do at all yet?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
They tow the time attack cars to the track.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But
that's true. That's very true.
like a Macan GTS,
Yeah.
with full arrow on it and slicks and lowered down because it looks sweet lowered.
Yeah,
Be wild.
yeah.
Just the big tubby boys around the track.
I mean, I know, again, it's
It's a lot
I
of
think-
weight moving.
It is.
I think it's just because they're trying to flex the EV stuff. There's a lot of CUVs, SUVs, crossovers that are EV-based motorsport,
Listen, EV motorsport sucks.
but
ass.
they're all just not prototypes, but they're just showcasing.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's all.
the problem with an EV car like that, time attacking, is if you stack the thing, you got to have like a special team there. You got to make sure the car's off. You got to jump a certain way. So you
Right.
don't zap. Get the fuck out of here with that. Fuck EV motorsport.
What is your favorite motorsport currently?
Oh, Jesus.
Do you have one? Is it?
No.
Can we even?
It's like, so, you know, when parents have multiple children, like you can't pick your favorite children, but
Mhm.
actually they do have a favorite one, but they're not going to like make the other one sad.
Yeah, it's not me.
Yeah, yeah. I honestly I couldn't pick one because each one has different things that I enjoy. Like WEC, the World Endurance Championship, that's sick. You've got all these top manufacturers building prototype race cars that are the most complex racing machines on earth. F1, the racing kind of blows, but I'm of the opinion that the racing can suck. I'm just there to watch a fast car and a fast driver do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because you're seeing cream of the crop.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even have to be the cream of the crop. It could be like, dude buddy down at like the local track whipping some shit around there. It's just fun to watch.
Yeah.
Before DTM went full GT3 when they had the Class 1 cars, the racing wasn't great, but they're the fastest closed cockpit cars, touring cars, quote unquote, in the world. And you're watching like just this thing whip. And it's just, that's what I get entertained about. Like the racing can be absolutely dire.
Yeah.
Like when you get fast cars, it can be absolutely dire, and that's okay as long as like the cars are phenomenal to watch.
Yeah.
When it gets to like some like touring car stuff though, like I like the elbows out.
Yeah.
These cars are made to do that. Like,
and matter of fact, there's you'll probably remember it. What is the most popular Australian track?
Bathurst.
Bathurst, okay.
Yes. It's a great facility.
The gentleman setting a blistering time, I think the track record at the time.
Was that Greg Murphy in 2003?
I think that's exactly it.
So
just to your point, I somehow stumbled across that lap.
I retweeted it.
Okay, probably. Yeah, that's exactly probably how it happened.
This year is the 20th anniversary of that lap.
Okay.
And my buddy Brendan, who lives in Pennsylvania now, he's also a big motorsport guy. We've known each other for a long time. And he said it the best, where it's like, that's one lap, even though the cars are much faster now, a couple seconds quicker. Like, that's one lap when it comes on, you just watch the whole thing.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
And especially in 2003, because in 2003, a V8 Supercore is still H pattern, relatively narrow tires, live axle in the back with a Watts link, which is really, really awkward.
Yep.
They have spool diffs. I don't know if you know what a spool diff is.
No.
So, when you weld a diff,
Yep.
it's like that, but it's not a welded piece. It's just a piece in the diff that just physically connects both axles together.
Yep.
They have those for some odd reason.
Interesting.
So they're a really, really awkward car to drive because you kind of have to manhandle around to at least turn it in.
Yep.
And you're just watching, again, like I said, with an H pattern, not sequential, not paddles. He's touching in and out all through the gears, just setting a time that was at 1.3 seconds quicker than the next guy out there is wild.
I think it's the whole, obviously watching him do the lap, driving the lap, etc., is primary focus. But I think with that, like how entertained the announcers were.
Oh yeah.
How into it they were.
You're watching history happen.
Right.
And it's always kind of a thing where when you're going very fast and you're setting a very fast lap, it doesn't look fast.
It's smooth.
It's very smooth. You're not manhandling a car around, so it doesn't look exceptional.
Yeah.
It looks slow.
Right, because who said it? It was Colin McRae talking about, at all places, X Games. If your tires are smoking, you're scrubbing speed.
Yeah, you're not. That's not forward motion.
Yeah. Got a gnat chasing me. You also wrote at one point, Corey might get a kick out of this one, 8 mashed potatoes and rented some vegetables for dinner tonight. What do you mean by rented?
Corn. Corn is the only food you rent.
Fair enough. That's
it comes out exactly the same.
That was the perfect way of putting renting.
You rent corn.
I rented a salad earlier today.
What's your favorite kind of potato?
Like in general, I just like mashed potatoes. It just fuck me up with mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
I don't like yams. I don't like sweet potatoes that much.
No, but like, okay. So favorite way to consume a potato?
Either mashed or au gratin.
Okay.
Or fries. Or just potatoes are great.
Potatoes are great.
Potatoes are solid. Like that's.
Yeah, they don't offer much in the way of like nutrient.
It's just a shit ton of carbs, but it's delicious. Like a pierogi.
They're a great vehicle.
They are.
Potatoes are a great vehicle.
So I really like pierogies, obviously, because like I'm Polish. Mm-hmm. But like, it's a piece of pasta in a pocket with just some potatoes in it.
Yeah,
it's the best food in the world.
It's damn near perfection.
It is perfect food. Well, the entire like, how do you say? The pierogi style of food is the perfect food.
Yes. Because you can
ravioli.
You can do it so many.
Everyone has a pierogi.
Yeah,
every culture.
And it could be fried. You could have like an empanada or a Jamaican beef patty. Like it's actually like baked. But
when I get when we get Chinese food, dumplings.
Yes,
Yeah, everyone has one.
they're great. They're the perfect food.
The perfect conduit.
Yes,
is the
it's a
wrap.
perfect vehicle
Right,
into your
right.
face.
And you can. Is there a dessert based on that?
Yes, you could-
Mochi.
Okay.
mochi, but you can also put like dessert shit inside of a pierogi.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They
it's
do.
like fruit
Matter of fact,
pierogies and stuff.
I don't
too.
know if it's still around.
Crepe.
Similar.
Similar.
Similar, yeah.
Patty's Pierogies in Fall River
I'm from
was
Connecticut.
such a big place. Mr. Fieri
Guy Fieri.
Did he go there?
I think he went there twice. I think he was there a couple
That
times.
dude's show is awesome. Like,
Yeah,
I know
it
people
is.
like give him a bunch of shit, but like he just brings
No, it's great.
attention to like small places and
Yeah.
helps them out. Like
Put
that's
that on
phenomenal.
every now and again. Waste a whole 8 hours.
Hell yeah, that's a lot of hours watching the Guy Fieri.
And the interesting
just
is
on.
like it's not just a personality. It is a personality, but like he also really knows how to cook
Oh yeah,
Right.
and like truly
he's
understands
the
like
John
food science.
Force of cooking.
The
Yeah.
breakdown. Right.
The man's got to talk over his hair,
Yeah, yeah.
and he could just
the breakdown of the food.
Yeah.
Also, next time you watch him eat. Not a graceful eater.
oh no, it doesn't
Fingers
matter.
in the mouth.
Yeah.
Food all over his face. Not a graceful eater.
It's efficient-ish.
Yeah. Taco Bell pierogi is Crunchwrap
Ooh,
Supreme.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Crunchwrap Supreme.
Dude, I love Taco Bell.
So here's the thing: I love Taco Bell too. Taco Bell has the same 8 ingredients, and it's just the vehicle at which it comes into your face. That's
Yeah.
different.
Right. It's
Yeah.
just the medium.
Chalupas, god tier. That's the top.
Chalupa?
Oh hell yeah!
Wow.
If I could get like the chalupa, fucking
The bread.
yeah, and I would make everything with it.
Yeah. My wife likes cheesy gordita crunches.
Those are good. I mean, it's cheese. Like
I'm all over the place when it comes to Taco Bell because I don't mind
Chalupa.
trying their new stuff, but then oftentimes I'm disappointed.
you get that sometimes.
I haven't been there in a while.
I like their quesadillas are fire.
Yeah, can't lose with quesadilla.
no.
That's like a side. That's like the appetizer.
Yeah,
the starter.
Like a chicken quesadilla. Like that's gonna
combine them both, chicken and steak.
right. I'm
together.
just oiling the system.
yeah.
Just
Tim
get
Connors
ready.
knows what's up.
The chalupa is the goat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like even the $1 cheesy roll ups.
So that's been each time we've had it in the past. There's like a shredded chicken roll up
Mhm.
for like $1.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, just make that bigger.
Just give me
I
12
just need
of
like
them.
because I feel awkward ordering like 6
Yeah.
of these things. If that's
I
even-
don't. Listen. I saw this thing. It's like Taco Bell is the last true melting pot of America because you go there at 2 a.m.
Yep.
There's someone in a $300,000 BMW. Behind them is like 4 dudes smoked out their gourd in a '97 Cavalier that's
Yeah.
rusty as shit.
a whole wedding party.
Yeah, and behind them is like some dude on a fucking scooter.
Yeah.
and they're all in the same place experiencing the same thing.
Matter of fact,
They're all in the same need.
Yeah.
there was a party at Chuck's like 2 years ago. Like,
Oh, wait, when we bought
New Year's Eve.
$200 worth of Taco Bell,
and it was like 11 o'clock.
I ate 12 tacos. Yeah.
Listen, that's a starter.
Yeah.
Was it Taco Bell? Like fuck yeah.
Yeah. I want to talk about who doesn't want Taco Bell.
If you don't want Taco Bell,
You
leave.
want to solve a lot of issues? Taco Bell. That's it. That's the problem.
Taco Bell.
Here's my thing. You get the people that you obviously they've got weak stomachs because they're like, oh, Taco Bell fucks me up. Chipotle fucks me up. It's like, no, you're just weak.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just not meant for this.
Yeah.
I've never gotten
You're
fucked
not built
up
for
by it.
this.
Yeah.
Right. Right. How often do you eat the cheapest ground beef possible?
Yeah.
Clearly never.
Never. You
Yeah.
didn't grow up poor.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Built this
Brick by brick,
cathedral.
baby.
Yeah. What was I just going to ask? Oh, what is the biggest thing that irks you about cars? Because
Oh, there's a lot.
why do people park their cars in the lane after a rear end collision?
Yo,
This was a perfect example. It's the dumbest thing you could do.
I was so my normal job is a parts counter in an Audi dealership.
Mhm.
The days that our driver is out, I am the parts driver. Some dipshit got into an accident in their Subaru Crosstrek yesterday on 95 and just parked the son of a bitch in the lane.
That's
The-
crazy.
The hard shoulder was right there. The car was completely drivable. Like it got fucked up in the ass and like
Yeah.
the muffler was hanging on the ground.
Yeah.
But like, this thing was drivable. Get the fuck out of the highway.
Right. Just from a sheer common sense
You're gonna get
standpoint.
smoked by some asshole in a truck.
Yeah.
And that's how you die.
The crazy thing is that when I took driver's ed, you were taught
Yeah,
If
just
you get
stay
an
where
accident-
you were. Like
do not move, stay where you are.
fuck you.
It's a crazy thing. The crazy
Especially
thing.
the way people drive these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
insane.
dumb.
Besides that, which is obvious, what's another thing that irks you in the car world today?
Just like the things everyday people do, or like
In general, the thing you find yourself shaking your head the most at?
All right, when people buy big ass trucks and then park them in parking spots that are not made for big ass trucks, like when you go to like a Walmart or a Target and someone's got like an F350 small dick extreme fucking long boy,
Yeah.
and it's sticking 5 feet out in the lane, and then it's got a hitch on it. Move that piece of shit. Like you're gonna, yes, I get it. The front half of your truck is in the lane, but the other one's blocking half of the path.
Right.
You're being a piece of shit.
They're the ones that park right near the cart return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's a good one.
Bro truck owners in general.
Yeah.
Hate them.
Yeah.
Subaru kids, for the most part,
Yeah.
dregs the earth. Most part. There's quite a few very awesome Subaru.
I'm sure there's
kids,
nice ones out there.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
for the most part, they're the worst.
Big shouts is Wild Steve.
Yeah, Wild Steve's great.
They got their stuff back.
They got
Yeah.
their stuff back.
Oh, they did get it back. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
He posted,
Yeah.
what did he say? Short story, we won
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah. It's a long story, but we won.
If I would still prosecute them. You got your shit back, but
It's yeah.
I have my thoughts about
Yeah.
things.
My
but-
wife and I were talking about it because it's just like, I get that, they didn't blow up who they were
Yeah.
right from the get. Like they
Yeah.
gave them the opportunity.
But you're still stealing $200 worth of shit.
I don't know if I would have done that.
No,
Not like it's good on them for
Yeah.
doing that. I don't know if I would have been nice.
I wouldn't have.
That's my thing. It's like,
Because
where-
I guarantee you, they're like some fucking. If you're stealing an access port from a Subaru place, you're not a good person.
right. If it's
Like-
like, right. There's a big difference between stealing meat to feed your family
Yeah.
versus an access port.
Being a Subaru bro and
Yeah.
stealing a fucking access port.
Yeah. What songs or albums could I listen to potentially get into Ghost? Because every time I've tried to
Oh, I
listen
have
to
no
them,
fucking idea.
I can't. I just can't do it.
I get it. Like a lot of people, it's spooky ABBA. Is what it basically is.
Who is this?
Ghost. So they're a Swedish band that's like
Very theatrical.
Yeah, if you took like the Kiss level of theatrics,
God, I love Kiss.
Kiss is pretty all right. Yeah, they have some very
they're
awful
pretty
songs.
much the best ever.
I don't know, man.
You wanted the best, you got the best. The hottest band in the world.
Yeah,
Kiss.
but they also sing songs about like 17-year-old women.
Listen, well, hey, what are you gonna do about it?
Wow.
Yeah, what are we gonna do about it?
But yeah, they're just like theatrical. It's you take like Blue Oyster Cult, you take
Yeah.
Kiss, you take ABBA,
Yeah,
throw them all together, make the whole band anonymous.
yeah, and it's
So-
Ghost.
Yeah, so they started. In,
So nobody really knows who they are.
they know who the lead singer is because of a legal thing.
With a
it got-
woman?
No,
Okay.
it was some money thing.
Okay.
They started in like 2008. They didn't know who the lead singer was until 2017. And every member of the band is anonymous as well. To the point that like Dave Grohl has played for them,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody knows when.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's a, like I said, it's a theatrical thing. It's,
I didn't know there was that much of a lore behind them
Yeah.
as well.
It's I haven't been to one of their concerts. I really want to go to one of their concerts, but like it's all part of like a show.
Yeah,
I'd say that was the part that I look at and I'm
It's basically take a bunch of theater kids and have them do like spooky ABBA stuff. And that's
Like
basically what it is. Yeah.
that's like obviously staged, but
Yeah.
like some of their whenever you see it, their live show stuff, you're just like, oh wow, that's
It's insane.
the theatrics of it.
Yeah.
wow,
Like yeah, there we go. That there's a fucking cathedral behind them.
this is definitely interesting.
Yeah, and that's the is like this logo. You show me that logo, I'm like, that's a band I can get behind.
Yeah.
However, I tried to listen to them,
I
and I'm
understand.
just like,
I understand that. I get it.
I can't fucking do
a
this.
lot of people call them Scooby-Doo chase music, which like I can understand it. I don't hear it myself, but I can understand it.
yeah,
That and goth bitches love it.
They love Ghost.
Yes.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it for sure.
It's a good time. Like
They're
I
like
said,
a less cool Gwar.
it's a different experience.
yeah.
Gwar is an experience.
Gwar is an experience.
I still gotta watch their NPR.
No, you got to watch. What was it? I think it was the AV Club. They did a series of like where bands would come in and do covers,
Yep.
and when you did a cover, it got pulled off the list. It was a big list of them.
Oh right.
So when you get towards the end, like Gwar did "Carry On My Wayward Son." It was
Oh, fuck
phenomenal.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so good.
Oh, that's awesome. Let me see. Let's go. Let's keep going down. Do you have How do you have the time to consume a lot of these motorsports?
I don't do much.
Okay. You also like making liveries.
Yes.
Oh, good. I had that
don't
written down.
like that word, but yes.
What do you
car
call
design? What do you call it?
Paint schemes.
Paint schemes.
Yeah,
Okay,
'cause
so
I come
you're
from-
not. This is an application of vinyl.
I mean, it can be both,
Okay.
but livery sounds way too pretentious. It's like calling fuel petrol.
Okay.
Like it's we're American. It's
Okay.
paint schemes.
Although there's a funny movie called Blood In, Blood Out. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No.
Not even funny movie, gang movie. And the
It would be
phrase was,
funny if they're from New Jersey.
"Who's get snaps on the petrol?"
Okay.
But they're like Mexican gang members. So that's why like the pretentiousness of petrol isn't there for me
I get
because of
it.
that movie alone.
I get it, but like it's when you get all these people that like I mean very clearly Americans, that try to not be with their vernacular.
Yep.
That bothers me.
Yep.
Um,
We had some people who like to make reference to the boot, the sump,
yeah, the bonnet.
the bonnet,
I have a
Who
lot
do
of,
we have that?
the gutter.
I have thoughts about a lot of it, but it would make the drift kids angry, so I'm not going to say it.
So, anyway, back to what we're not going to call liveries. We're going to call paint schemes. How did you get into this?
So, when I was 13, so in the long ago year of 2003, the first forum I joined was GT Planet, which
Mhm.
is a Gran Turismo forum. And one of the threads in the off-topic section was a website that was basically tiny three-quarter view animated GIFs of like Japanese tuner cars.
Mm-hmm.
It's from this website. I forgot the name of the website. It's been 20 years. But they had a shit ton of them, like all Japanese makes. Some of them were like D1 GP cars of the era and stuff like that. So we got the bright idea to modify these just
Mhm.
through MS Paint. And it started from there. And then it went on to what were called pixel cars at the time, which is where you do front, side, and rear, the same thing. And from there, I started playing NASCAR 2003, which is a game on the PC
Mm-hmm.
where you can, how do you say it? You can custom skin the cars. And it just went from there. I've been doing that since 2008.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot for iRacing now. I've done so back in the sick year that we can't really talk about a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
NASCAR did a thing where they had all their drivers play iRacing. It was on TV on Sundays.
This is
It was
when a
like-
guy got kicked off for racial slurs, right?
No,
Okay.
that was a different thing.
Jesus.
Listen, there's a whole story behind that. But they would put on a show on like Sunday because like they were contractually obligated to like do
something.
Fox was
Yeah.
had the rights to that part of the season, so they would do races on TV. I knew a few people involved with iRacing, Christopher Leone, and he came to me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to do some of these cars for TV series?" Basically, so what I did in that aspect, I would get the files from like the guy who designed the car that was going to be racing on the track.
Yep.
And I turned them into the cars for the iRacing series
Yep.
to be used on national television. It was a good time. We got paid all right for doing that.
That's pretty, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, for that, it's
Yeah.
especially if you like doing it anyway.
Especially, yeah. And like, this was like, they were the actual teams.
Right.
And the actual drivers, the actual cars doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big like celebrity person because like I've been around racetracks a bunch. So I just feel like every big driver is just a dude or a woman with a cool job.
Yeah.
Mm.
So like, but it was neat that it was on national television.
Yeah, where it was going to be seen.
So that's basically what I do for like video game stuff. I do a lot of just fun graphic design, little projects. It's been on Blip Shift before.
I was going to ask, where can people see these?
So I have a small selection on Threadless, which is
Yep.
like a t-shirt website.
Also sell shower curtains,
Yes. You can option some stuff to be sold as shower curtains and bath mats.
which is hilarious.
That's phenomenal.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mainly focus on motorsport.
Yeah.
Because mainly bold schemes, just the bright colors, people like that stuff. I try to stay with things from the 80s and 90s because that's just the cars that I prefer.
I was going to say, what medium in motorsport in particular? Like stock cars?
Everything. The latest one that I have up for sale, I did it a few years ago, is the Champion Porsche 9 Porsche GT1 car.
Yep.
from the 90s. It was like the mid-engine one that was like a 962 engine, looked vaguely like a 996.
Mm-hmm.
But the champion car was the one that was all like wrapped. I don't want to say rainbow because it was used the colors of the rainbow on a white base, and it looked like it was like paint splotches all over the car.
Yep.
I've done the Ford Supervan 3, which was the 90s transit-based one, just bright colors. I did for a while, I did all like the GT cars from IMSA, just as like a basic front view because you can't put logos on these things because they'll get pulled.
Right, they'll instantly, yeah. But you can do general, the colorways.
Yeah, that's what I do. I do the colorways without any of the logos because I don't want to get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Because I have gotten threatened for that before. Jaguar. That wasn't nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Send a cease and desist?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, you pull this down or you're going to be hearing from some people.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
You don't want to buy a shower curtain?
Hey, man. I can put it on a tea kettle.
Yeah. Make you a cuppa.
Yeah.
Another thing from your ex, let's call it.
No, we don't call it that.
Twitter.
Elon Musk is
I can't
piece
ever
of
call
shit.
it that. I would like to see a Maverick-sized Rivian.
Absolutely.
It's a wonderful idea.
The Rivian styling is so nice.
We seen a SUV today as
Yeah,
we were
the
going to
R1S.
grab some food.
Very
Yeah.
cool. I like the Rivians, especially because they look like I don't know how you say it, but like most trucks try to look too aggro and too like in your face.
And especially the EV stuff. What do you think of the Cybertruck?
It's the biggest piece of shit I've ever
Okay,
seen in my
so
life.
that's my point. It's just like, can you just make something that looks like a truck still?
But that's
be a
what,
truck and like
that's
it's
why I
okay.
Like the Rivian looks like it's just an honest truck.
Yep.
It reminds you of like I mean, granted, it's got like its face to it.
Modern cues, right?
Yeah,
right.
but it looks like the truck that your father, your grandfather drove back in the day. It's just an honest truck. It's not trying to be something it's not, styling wise.
Yeah.
Obviously, the tech involved is wild. The interior is wild. If I had to buy an EV, I'd probably buy a Rivian.
Right. If all things aside, if I was to be like, here's what you can. Well, I like the Taycan too, but like if it was truck SUV, it would be one of those.
Yeah, I would never buy a Taycan.
I think they're cool.
They are cool looking. Same with the RS e-tron.
e-tron,
thing.
yeah.
e-tron GT. They're just not what I would have.
Mm-hmm.
They're just too much of everything.
Yeah.
Too low. I don't want to like the height of the roof is too low.
Yeah. The ingress egress of that.
Oh, it's awful.
When I was trying to get in, like I whacked my head first. I'm
Yes.
like, oh, I gotta fucking squish down even more.
We have a sales guy at work who's 6'6", and watching him climb out of an RS e-tron GT is quite amusing.
A spectacle.
Yeah, folds himself down into it. Remember those pictures of like Shaq when he was in like the Buick?
Yeah.
Or like and he's clearly in the back seat.
Like this doesn't. How is that working? It
Yeah.
shouldn't work.
Listen, your Twitter's a great place.
It's a shit posting fucking.
I love it.
You have posted 162.2 thousand times.
Listen, man, I'm a
Wild.
I can tell you why, because it's the only form of social media I don't have my mom on. So she can't like I've blocked her on Instagram and all that, but like so she can't be like, what is this about? Why is it? Are you okay? So it's just everything.
I mean, this is a perfect. Man, I can't imagine just how wild the clubs used to go when It's Raining Men came out.
Right? Yo, that song's bananas.
And your follow-up was Disco fucking rules.
Disco is great. People that don't like disco, like, you had to have been told that by someone that it sucks.
So here's what I think. Because if someone were to generally say to me, do you like disco music? I'd say no. Until they play a few songs for me. And then like this also qualifies as disco. I'm like, nah, this slaps. Like, I'm into this.
like
Yeah.
Right. It's almost like disco is more of an era of time versus.
no, it's definitely a style because like there's 80s disco and it also slaps.
Okay.
But like I said, I think the people that don't like disco, they were told by people not to like it.
Yeah.
Or like their parents were like metalheads or something like this is shitty. You can't. Or it's like certain subtext of a subgroup of people.
Right.
Like
Just
this kind of
that caused the divide.
Yeah, but like it's awesome. Like if you listen to like just the production value of all of it, it's wild. Some of these bands got full like orchestras involved making these songs.
Yeah. Yeah, but It's Raining Men is a
That song's
wild song.
wild. Dude, it thumps. What else was I about that? Also, a lot of songs that you wouldn't think are disco actually are disco
Are
when you strip it
considered.
down.
Yeah.
Crazy Train. If you pull away all the guitars and just are left with the drums and the bass, it is 100% a disco song.
Oh man, what's the Smells Like Teen Spirit?
Yes.
Is a disco song as well.
The opening to Smells Like Teen Spirit is the drum fill in the beginning is from a shit, I don't remember the name of it.
Dave
but
Grohl talks about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because somebody like called him out on
The
it.
Gap Band. It's the
And
Gap
he's like,
Band.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It 100% is.
Yeah. Like disco rules. It's good time.
Yeah, so to what I was saying, it's like the initial like knee jerk reaction is like, nah, I don't like disco. And you play some songs, you're like,
Yeah, this shit.
I like
this shit
disco.
grooves.
Yeah, this is good.
That's the thing is like, I couldn't say yes or no because I'm just so unfamiliar with the genre overall. But as you start naming songs that I'm like, oh yeah,
It's very danceable.
yeah.
I'm a large fellow and in my 30s, but like I want to get into like roller skating.
Go for it, dude. What are
Like-
you waiting for? Get out there, buddy.
The
got
amount
I
of
got
people
bad
who are
knees, man.
into roller
Yeah,
skating,
it's sick.
it's
Like
ridiculous.
I have a tech who's 20 years old, which is the wildest thing ever. He was born after Too Fast, Too Furious came out.
was it like 9 months after?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, his parents were
Really celebrated
they,
the movie coming out.
Just the sight of Ludacris and that afro just drove me wild. Ejecto Cuz was the moment they climaxed.
Yeah. Yeah, get out there. Roller skate.
Yeah,
roller,
like
roller blade or roller skate?
Skates. So blades they're fine, but like you see all the old heads at the roller rinks and like the quads, just like vibing,
Yeah.
and that seems like a good time.
Go for it.
My
You got a roller rink near you?
Yeah, we do actually. There's
That's
one
good.
like 20 minutes from me.
There's a coworker of mine who was ecstatic over the roller skates he wore. So much so, so much so they came in, arrived at the office, immediately put them on. And I'm
Break
just
them
like,
in,
dude,
man.
what is happening?
Gotta break them in.
Chuck and I had a coworker who was a phenomenal roller skater.
Oh yeah, it's wild. Seeing what you can do.
Phenomenal roller skater, and he would roller skate around the loading dock.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, phenomenal.
I could never do ice skating because I'm worried all the time about there's a sharp blade on the bottom of my
Nah,
foot.
you'd be right. Yeah.
You also partake in motorsport.
Yes.
What are some of the things you do?
I drive shitbox enduro cars at the Waterford Speed Bowl. That's about as eloquently as I can put it.
But no, that's perfect.
Oh, it's awesome.
What's it? Is it chump? Is it?
Oh no, there's no safety equipment in this
Okay.
car. My buddy Mitch races. He used to race mini stocks. He races kind of like a street stock style car, but he also does enduros. And I don't have room at my house for a car, so he's my car owner. And we have a 1998 Nissan Maxima with 325,000 miles on it.
Just in time for
Oh,
first
it's
oil
phenomenal. It's automatic, like 'cause it's just we bought it for like $200.
change.
The rules basically are for car prep: windows out except for the windshield, lights out, strip the interior, and that's about it. There's no roll cage in the car. There's no racing seat in the car. There's no racing harness in the car. I'm gonna have to change that though because I was gassed at the end of the last race because like I was holding myself up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my left side protection is the bottom of the rear seat shoved between the seat and the front door. Josh is looking at me like it's fun.
I was
It's
trying
fun
to
as
picture
hell.
that, and I'm like, wait, there are other cars on track, right?
The last race I did, there's 42 cars in total. We were racing for $1,000.
There you go.
Yeah, 75 laps.
You gotta
Throw the carrot. in
put
front of
something
us,
out there,
man.
right?
42 laps.
No, 42 cars for 75
42,
laps.
75 laps. Okay. not bad.
How many made it?
15, maybe.
That's pretty good.
So I didn't know where I was going to start because they basically you sign in, you pay your $20 or whatever to enter, and they do the pill draw for you, which is basically they have 100 pills. They'll just organize them by whatever one you pilled. So Mitch ran the full size enduro, which is like Crown Vics, full frame cars, stuff like that. And I was like, where am I starting? Because I didn't know. And he's like, you're starting 40th.
40th.
Yeah, I'm okay with that
Yeah.
because it lets everybody in the middle kind of dick around and
Yeah, and you can sift through.
yeah, finished 10th.
There you go.
Yeah,
wow.
it wasn't bad. Like I said, last 15 laps, I was gassed because I was holding myself up the whole time.
Right.
I was just like, this is not, we're going to have to put some support in here next year. But no, it's a good time. I shipped someone through the dirt because they chopped me going into turn 1. I just held my line and they wrecked off.
You
the
were
front of
in
me.
helmet?
Helmet, yeah.
Okay.
Helmet and a fire suit and
Okay.
gloves, and that's your basic safety.
Yeah.
And it's just a good time. It's the definition of cheap motorsport.
Yeah.
Everyone names like these like Champ Car, Lemons. Those are all still like a $5,000 weekend.
Yeah. It's not. We have some friends who do them, and when I started to ask, because you see it online and you don't get to ask any questions,
No.
it just looks like shitbox car racing. And then when you talk to someone who does it, and you get to start asking these questions, you're like, oh, this isn't it at all.
Mm-mm.
It's like you are in what looks to be a shitbox, but had a lot of money into it.
Oh yeah, because I believe in Lemons. Excuse me. There's no limit to spend on safety equipment,
Mm-hmm.
wheels and tires, brakes and suspension, and that could be a lot of money
You could
easily.
be $20,000.
Oh, yeah.
Just poof.
Meanwhile, I buy a car for $200,
Yeah.
sling it around the oval, hope it lasts till the
Yeah.
next one. I've run this car twice. The first time I ran into the back of an Avalon, and
On the track or on the way to it?
on the track. Listen,
Avalon's a big car.
that is a big car. It's four.
Yeah.
So I race in quote unquote compact enduros, which is 4 6-cylinder cars that are unibody.
Mm-hmm.
It got shitty off of 4, and we were all like stacked up, and he spiked the brakes, and I hit the back of it, and his rear bumper beam went over the top of mine and just smoked the radiator.
Yeah.
I kept it going for another 15 laps. Fucking thing was pegged. Like the temperature gauge was absolutely pegged for like 10 of those. I come off of 2 and roll into the throttle, and the car just goes. Brrr. I'm like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Thankfully, all it needed was a $75 Rock Auto radiator, and back out there.
That's
Wow.
pretty. Yeah. That's
My car is one of the few that has the luxuries like a radio that still works,
mhm.
and
Bluetooth.
So you're in there listening to It's
I
Raining
can
Man.
I can listen to whatever the hell I want to. Listen,
Yeah.
You throw on, if someone's cutting you up, throw on some Credence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Jock jams just
Hell
the
yeah.
entire time.
Listen, absolutely. And I also have working wipers and the washer fluid still
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
So they don't throw yellow flags. It's green flag or a red flag. And the only time they really throw red flags is if a car is caught on fire, someone is in a very precarious position, or if like there's been a big accident.
Mm-hmm.
2 people got hospitalized in the last race I did, just for, I think they were minor incidents, but it's just like a bad hit angle.
You just call them a bunch of bitches.
No, well, no, like
You just did. You just did.
No,
you said
no.
you rolled your eyes. And
No,
you
I didn't
said,
roll my
no,
eyes. I
you
roll- I
rolled your
went-
eyes. You were like, yeah, it's minor.
it looked very minor, but there's no safety equipment in these cars. One of them happened right in my rearview mirror, and this chick got hit 4 or 5 times before nosing in an Integra.
Yeah.
Like the 2 rear wheels were almost touching each other. That's how far.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it was gnarly. But that was like, like I said, there's no yellow flags, so like, and cars end up getting pretty dirty because you can ship someone down through the dirt. You got fluids out there. There's bumper covers. Shit's flying everywhere.
yeah.
So every time there's a red flag, I just pull the washer fluid, clean the windshield.
You should get the wipers to squirt out either way. You can kind of hose someone.
Yeah.
Either
Host
way.
I could
somebody
try
off.
that. So the only thing that's on your driver is a net.
Mhm.
So you could smoke someone in there with some water.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's me and this other dude in a Maxima that were kind of like door banging a bit, and like I felt like if he put his arm out the window and I just did that across, we
you guys
probably
can hold
could've
hands.
done
Yeah.
It's a blast.
Some accidents can look way less.
Oh yeah, no,
Harsh.
absolutely.
What do you think? The day Dale
Oh,
died.
I was fucking 11. I was 10 actually. I hadn't turned 11.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
So the running joke that me and a bunch of friends that I sim race have with, so the first person that came to his aid was Kenny Schrader,
Mm-hmm.
who's an amazing dude. He's older now, still whips ass on dirt tracks. So the running joke that we have is that Dale survived the crash, but Kenny came over and stabbed him with a knife.
Finished them all.
Yeah, yeah. But like, no, it's obviously it's kind of like Michael Schumacher in F1.
Yeah.
You have a guy that's the best at the time, because
Yep.
Lewis Hamilton is, we're going to say he's an 8-time champion because he got fucked
Yeah.
a few years ago.
Total wolf. No, it's not right.
Listen, there's procedures that need to be followed, and they were not followed. But yeah, so anytime that someone is, people like Michael Schumacher, people like Dale Earnhardt, people like Ayrton Senna, they have like a mystical feel to them.
Mm-hmm.
They're bigger than the sport if that makes sense.
Yeah, Michael
true,
Jordan.
true legends.
Yeah, Michael
true
Jordan,
legends.
Tom Brady, stuff like that. So when
Yeah.
someone, just like Ayrton Senna as well, when you get killed while doing your sport, it's a massive blow to everything.
Yeah.
And
And you also,
you realize these people are not immortal.
and right.
Yeah.
Bring some humility and
Yes.
humanity to it.
Yes.
And it, I mean, in the opposite direction, immortalizes them even more
Yes.
because of like, this is it. This
I mean,
is never going to be forgotten.
Think of all the memes about Dale Earnhardt now. Like
It
just
still doesn't
in the
end,
good,
right.
but in the good way.
In the
Like,
right, yeah,
yeah.
do it for Dale.
Yeah.
Like it just
Raise hell, praise
never
Dale.
ends.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I think I'm probably gonna get a tattoo of like I saw this one where it was the side like a cartoon version of the side of his car with Snoopy driving.
I was gonna say you tweeted that.
I want to get that, but change Snoopy to actually like Dale in his helmet and everything.
right.
It'd be fun.
Right. It's yeah, there are some unfortunately iconic moments that we'll never forget.
Correct.
And I can visually picture that, the Senna one.
yeah, it's there are moments that change the sport forever.
Yeah.
Like I said, because you have your hero, so called, your bigger than the sport driver get shot
Gone.
down. Yeah,
Mhm.
Right. just gone.
And the one good thing that came out of his passing is now that a NASCAR stock car is much safer.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, not the current car, but the one that was right before it. It's called the Gen 6 or the COT car. That was the safest racing car in the world. You just saw people.
That crash fairly recently.
There's a couple of them, yeah.
The rolled over like 12 times. 15
Yeah, so
times.
that was in a current car, which is a bit less safe.
Okay.
Which
How did it go backwards?
air. Oh, what? It just got spun.
No. I'm saying like
Oh,
less
just-
safe, meaning just like
They built the cars a little different now. They currently have a center section, and the front and rear clips are bolt on, as to kind of like save some money and like push shit around. But they made the car too stiff.
okay.
So they made the car more like a GT car now instead of a stock car, but it's too stiff now. So when you got into a wreck with it, the car didn't dissipate the energy; it went to you.
Yep.
So you've had drivers that have, like Kurt Busch, for example. He had a fairly innocuous looking wreck at Pocono last year, where the toughest part of the car was the rear end of it. He backed into the wall out of 3, and that, because Pocono has only 3 turns, that ended his career. He got
Oh, that was the concussion
yeah.
and right.
And then the doctor's like, you can't do this anymore. Like,
Yeah.
sorry. Like, that's it.
Right, because there truly is a part of engineering to
It's
be
got to
allow
form
for a
right,
place
yeah.
for energy to go,
Yes.
not into the cabin.
Correct. Your brain gets knocked around quite a bit it gets knocked around quite a bit in general and a big impact, but when the car doesn't give,
Right, it's all going to you, and
Yeah.
something's going to take.
yeah. You're the soft squishy part that can give
Right,
in that instance.
right. Why? Last motorsport question.
Yeah, you can keep going, doesn't bother me.
What's Hamilton's problem? Is it the team's problem? Is it a car problem? Is it he's so obviously a lot of these guys are emotional.
It's the car.
Okay.
It was a fundamental problem in the design of the car. Basically based on where he's sitting in relation to the front axle. And it totally he's not adapting to it because it doesn't fit that style of how he drives versus someone else like a Max Verstappen, who I really don't like.
Couldn't tell.
He's a fuck. Man's got fish lips.
He's definitely an interesting looking guy.
He is, yeah. His family's totally shit too.
Oh, I don't know
Like,
anything about his family.
His father's Jos Verstappen, who's also a Formula 1 driver. Like, his dad would, like, when he didn't do well, he would make him walk home from the track.
Could make Max walk
Yeah.
home? Well, it did him well.
Well,
He's doing really well
okay,
now.
so here's the thing. There was a time when, like, he got picked up by someone and driven back to his house. His dad drove him back to where it was and made him walk. His dad has also murdered people.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
with, like, a boat
Oh wow.
and beat women. It's not a great family.
Yeah.
Max is killing it now.
He is. Listen, everybody has your time.
Yeah.
I still don't think he's that great of a racer. He's a phenomenal, like, he can drive, but he can't race.
I think he's a great strategist.
I would say yes, but the problem with him is if you get a car next to him,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to not act like you're there.
Mm-hmm.
He's
I was going to say a lot of the incidents you see when they're wheel to wheel, like whenever him and Lewis actually go at it, there's something happens.
It's him, and it's not even just Lewis. Anytime I do see what you're saying.
He basically, and this is kind of how you put it, sort of. That was a word salad, but if you took the Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher racing school
Mm-hmm.
and focused that their entire style of driving into one person, it's him.
Mhm.
It's either I'm going to make the corner in this pass or we're both crashing.
Yeah.
Which is not, that's not racing. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's always open for interpretation.
yeah.
Somebody's got to give, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Or both should give.
Well, you can't just, what was it, Brazil 2 years ago or something in 2021, where he just drives into turn 4, not even attempting to make the corner and just pushing him out wide. Like that's horse shit as far as I'm concerned. Like
It's bullying a little bit,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like you can bully back.
you can't though, because then he'll just wreck both of you.
Yeah. I guess depending on who you are,
Yeah.
it's like the money behind it. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot, there's so many layers.
Oh yeah.
When you peel it back, like there's so many, it's not
Right,
just
right.
about that. It's
No.
like how much money's on the line. Also, like if Max wrecks something, it's not that big of a deal. He brings in so much money, there's so
Yeah.
many eyes on him. If someone from a different team, lower
AlphaTauri.
down, that's maybe from Alfa Romeo, right?
Yeah.
It's like their funds aren't there.
No.
They don't have that many nose cones.
No.
They don't have, the
Yeah,
people.
those things like $100,000 a pop.
Yeah, it's like the repercussions are a lot higher
Yeah.
for someone else, and you can't tell me that that's not in their brain.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So and they're like much more willing to give up
or even with
than Max being like, "Fuck it, I don't care."
even with like Lewis Hamilton, he's in a car that's like the team spends a shit ton of money, but he knows that like to finish well, you got to at least finish 1st. And you can't just take someone else out with you
Yeah,
because you don't think they deserve that spot.
I don't know. I love the aggression.
I do too. If it was in a full-bodied car,
Mm-hmm. You worry about their safety.
not just that, but other
Oh.
people's safety. Like you're not supposed to bang wheels on an open wheel car. Like you don't do that.
Maybe it's the evolution of the sport.
I don't.
You're not on board for it?
No.
They're in America often now. They get really
Yeah,
aggressive
yeah.
around
Yeah,
these
that's the
parts.
thing.
Yeah.
It's getting real Americanized.
Yeah,
it is.
I don't like that either.
Yeah. The Miami, how'd you feel about the Miami thing?
That's just a spectacle.
Yeah.
It's
No, what do you think? You know it's going to be big in Vegas.
oh
I
yeah,
mean, Vegas
absolutely.
is Mr. Spectacle.
Yeah.
You
No,
know-
absolutely.
Again, the fucking the spear.
Yeah, the fucking sphere. It's gonna have just eyes on
It's,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm very
It's just gonna be
intrigued to see
Max
what
Ver-
happens.
Max Verstappen's lips are gonna be on the spear.
Yeah. His like really weird photo that they.
So if you want
take
to see something weird, take a look at Max Verstappen and put him next to Jackie Kennedy. They look the same.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Vegas is going to be like as far as like the spectacle of it all.
I like the track layout.
Yeah, I think
it's-
it's really cool. Looking at the track layout and then being in Vegas and like looking where it's going, it's going to be real. It's
You've-
awesome.
The thing that a lot of people don't get, and a lot of them are, I don't want to say is a bad way to you, Corey, because I know you kind of got into it this way, is the drive to survive people.
That's me.
No, I know it is.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
mean it bad against you, but you get a lot of people that like they determine the quote unquote goodness of a track based on how technical it is,
Mm-hmm.
where the Vegas layout is not really technical.
My determination for what tracks I like or which ones I like to watch.
I completely agree with that.
And like that might not have anything to do with the track. It
Mm-hmm.
could just be how they're filming it for this one.
I agree. That's 100%.
And I'm just like
good camera angles. Make
yeah,
a
it's
whole
like, I
different-
don't know. This one's fucking
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah.
So the thing that a lot of people think with the Vegas track is because it's a lot of right angles and it's not very, it's not very technical.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, it's going to be shit for racing. Like, the track is effectively a square.
Yeah.
That's 4 passing zones. Every corner is a passing zone.
Yeah. You always come back to where you started.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like, there's a supercars track in the Sydney Olympic Park called Homebush, and when that track was released, it literally was a square with like 2 chicanes and like a bus stop section that actually went around a train station. And it put on the best racing every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Because the layout of the track has pretty much nothing to do with how it'll race. Now, the problems with the aero on the cars currently, where they can't really follow each other, which is a Formula One problem since forever. Once you open up that can of worms, you can't really put them back in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why straights and hard braking areas like that provide good racing, because you don't need to follow close through a set of corners to set it up. You can just draft them and hope you can stick out and get it in.
Yeah, you always see that it's the same angle they catch in every race. It's always that like sharp pull out from behind the car. So they're breaking out of the
toe,
like drafting just to make the pass.
Mm-hmm.
And if you catch the same shot, they're like, oh my God. And I'm just like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a good racing. Passing is good racing. Not to the extent with some of the DRS, because some of that's like a little cheap.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it or the history of it or how it came to be or anything like that. But I could see the argument for it not existing at all.
Correct. So in 2000, it got to the point in 2008 where the cars were, you couldn't pass like at all.
Mm-hmm.
In 2009, when they changed the regulations, then they made the front flaps on the wing could move up and down a little bit. And I think it was in 2010, so the year after is when they started doing the DRS thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was merely a way to at least assist in getting an overtake done, obviously by making your following car have less drag, so you can try and get up someone. So it was never really meant as like a free pass. It was meant so you could get close and up to, and then it's up to you in the braking zone who makes that pass.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where it's so effective now that you just blow by people on straightaways.
Yes.
Yeah. And
there's like a huge speed
Yeah.
differential.
Yeah.
It's literally like
It's like getting the star.
I was just gonna say Mario Kart, right?
Yeah.
Right.
There's a huge speed differential, and you can see it. It's weird because it's like this flap that opens, and all of a sudden it's like the car just is like,
Yeah.
and you're like, does it have extra level of boost? Like, what is going
It's
on with
just
it? Yeah,
that loss of drag in a straight line. That's aerodynamics are wild.
it is. Yeah,
Dark arts.
yeah. F1's been a fun one for me.
It's entertaining.
It's been a new interest of mine.
This year has obviously been a bit of a drag, but you get that sometimes in
Yeah.
those big jobs.
Yeah. It hasn't been nearly as entertaining as like the year past. Like
No.
last year I found it way more interesting. I watched way more of the races. This year I'm kind of like,
That's what happens though when you get someone that's built a car that's that much better. And it's
Yeah.
not like IndyCar where everyone's got the same chassis and there's two different. It's like, as you know, they're building every bit of that car.
yeah.
And if you can build a car that's that much better than everybody else, I don't think you should be reined in for it.
Yeah.
It's an engineering challenge in itself.
It's definitely an engineering challenge.
We'll answer some questions. We'll do that.
Yep.
Kevin401. Stolen from Barstool. Have you walked more steps or read more words in your life?
Definitely walked more steps.
Definitely
Walked more
steps.
Yeah, walked for sure. He also asked for Shook to hit us with some Tony Soprano. We'll have to wait next week. Hopefully he's back. He can do that for us. Let's see. A lot of people asking why Shook is selling his purple drift missile. We don't know yet. Chuck Who, is there anything to do in Indianapolis?
Yes, actually go to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, to the museum there.
How far away from the city is it?
Speedway, Indiana is like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Conveniently located.
Yep.
Would you, TD's Manufacturing, would you rather have 2 left feet or 2 left hands?
I think 2 left hands.
Yeah, I'd probably do 2 left hands.
Because think about it. Think about it this way. When you were born, you didn't have a left or a right hand. You just had hands.
You just had nubs.
You just had
You
hands.
just had things.
And at
right.
one point, you learned to favor one more than the
Yeah.
other. So, if you had 2 left hands, you naturally just learned to favor
Yeah.
one more than the other. But like feet's tough. You got to walk.
Right.
There's not a left and a
Yeah.
right. There's not a dominant
Yeah.
one. Not dominant one.
Right. With 2 lefts, you could just walk in circles.
So if you have 2 left hands, that means you're always giving yourself a stranger.
I don't know.
No, I think your thumb's on the other side.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. Grape Whistle. Thoughts on fixed back seats with stock seat belts? You can do it.
Fixed
No.
what?
Fixed back seats with stock
Fixed
seat
back
belts.
seats with stock seat belts.
I do it.
No.
That's Locksteed allows it, so I
just
don't have
feel
harnesses.
comfortable
I
with
just
that.
don't like fixed back seats.
I get it for like.
It's
certain
different for you.
applications.
Yeah.
Drift car, I get it. But if, like, to put it in a car to try and use, because that wasn't, I was looking at some seats that were fixed back for the Civic,
Yep.
and I really wanted them.
Yeah.
And it would have saved me a lot of money, but I was like, I just can't.
I just feel like you have to kind of have harnesses in there with a fixed back because the stock seatbelt's not going to hold you great compared to.
Yeah, because it's kind of going over the seat, not over you.
Yeah.
But
Especially like here
yeah,
when it comes over to like latch in. I don't know.
it's tough. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, mine fits pretty good. I mean, at some point I'll get harnessed, but it works pretty good right now. The only thing I had to do was add a little neck strap.
A neck strap?
Yeah, because, you know, a little seatbelt
You
straps.
chafing?
Chafing my neck.
Oh.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Nick Oppo, if you punch yourself in the face and it hurts, are you weak or strong?
That's a good one.
That is a tough one.
I think you're both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think a little bit of both. Let's see. Jack me off.
Good name.
What car don't you understand why people love so much or are overhyped? He writes, like Supras with a pile of dookie.
Ooh, like a Mark IV Supra?
There's a lot.
It's tough.
EVs.
I think like I can like understand someone's appreciation for anything, just because like I don't appreciate it. But like if someone can like clearly convey to me why they appreciate something, I'm like, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. I
Yeah,
get it.
like, you know, there's people who like Reliant Robins.
Listen,
Nah,
man,
I get it.
Listen, man.
Like, I
get
get it, but I just don't want one.
I'm one of
Yeah,
those people that likes weird shit. So
Or like, fuck, what were those things? Starlets, Toyota Starlets.
Joe, those with a rotary in them though.
Yeah, they're wild. It's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
It's cool, but that's about it.
Fair.
Not necessarily overhyped. There's
Fair. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really think what's
No, I can't really think of one.
Like, there's never like when I hear overhyped, it's a car that's been like hyped when it comes out, and it's a disappointment.
I don't know why this just reminded me of this. On my way to Salem, I seen a Mary Kay pink Escalade,
I'm about that.
That's sick.
brand new one.
That's
That's
a
wild.
lot of sales right
That
there.
means
Dude.
that's like top level of the
Yeah.
pyramid.
Yeah.
that might be Mary Kay herself.
I feel like
What was the plate? Was the plate Mary Kay?
I didn't see the plate.
I feel like if you have a Mary Kay Escalade, you have to pair it with like 26-inch like wheels.
So
and
that's the
then
thing. It didn't have any. It was like stock wheels, so it was like lacking.
It also needs Vogues, some mustard and mayo Vogues on it.
yeah.
to really tie it
Oh,
together.
yeah.
Yeah. I think we did pretty good.
I'd
We
say
did damn
so.
good. Matt, thank you
Hello.
very much for hanging out.
Of course.
It was truly a pleasure. I feel like we've only begun to tap your
Oh no. Yeah.
your intellectual resource
Telling
for
you, if you
all
wanna-
things
if you want to
motorsport.
just like hide me under the desk
We might have to.
and
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
hey, what's going on here?
Poke
Like,
in. We got to check. You know how they call the officials guy in the NFL
Yeah.
when there's a replay.
Yeah.
Like, we got to call a guy in New York. We might have to do that with
I'll
you.
just come in with the fucking the zebra shirt on.
I just want to be the guy at the NFL game standing on the side with a big cone.
Oh hell yeah!
I knew that. I have a story about that.
Oh, so the college football is a little wild. I'm not a big like stick and ball sport guy.
Yeah.
I don't really get it. I can watch it. I can go there. It's fun. Great. I can't really understand it otherwise. The Oregon Ducks are like a college team, and
Mhm.
their mascot is a duck.
Yep.
Mhm.
And he was doing something like pregame this week, and like fucked up and fell over, and the head came off. So like he immediately like covered his head and then sprinted back into
Yeah.
like the back.
Yeah.
With like everybody following.
I love the commitment.
It's great.
Nobody can see who I am.
No.
It's perfect.
It's like Ghost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly.
You could be a member of Ghost.
But yeah, I think that will do it for us this week, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Matt, thank you very much. As always, you can like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Then hit up our website, revivemotoring.com, where you can sign up for the B for B, buy some merch. Oh, donut meet this Sunday. I think
That's
we mentioned
right.
that
I
at
will
the top
be
of the
there.
top of the show as well.
10-1, 9 a.m.
10-1, 9 a.m. We're going to have
Love
some
it.
merch. I made some shirts. I made us some shirts today.
Some shit.
So I'm going to hopefully have those out there with the rest of our bagged coffee. And we got a large amount of cans stocked, ready to go for your pleasure.
Lock, stocked, ready to.
To rock.
Ready to suck down.
Yeah, there you go.
So we will see you all. Wow, that's loud.
That was a lot of
We will see you all Sunday. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much in the chat. Everybody who partakes, you guys do not stop. Literally kept the chat moving the entire night. So we appreciate that as well. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I think we covered everything. Yeah.
Goodbye.
That's all I got. Adios. Peace out. One love.
That's weird, dude.